So we're live, but we're still on the start screen in a minute. But so.
Wish.
That's fair. Let's give me a good time to check in. Does anyone, is everyone good? Does anyone have any questions before we get started? Any bookkeeping or anything? Obviously, I can flesh you a lot of the world lore as we get going.
Nothing from me as yet. No.
No, I'm good.
That's fair. The only extra thing from me is you can all give a thought to why your character is still in Aqaba. It'll probably fit into their general persona. Why are they not out in the frontiers earning glory? Are they here by obligation? Maybe they've got a family member they can't leave. Are they here just because they wanted to avoid going to the war, etc., etc.? Give some thought to that, and I'll get your rough answers, or you can just say skip and we can come back to it and flesh out later. And if you haven't had time to think about it, that's fine. Alrighty then. With that, I guess, yeah, let's get into this, shall we?
Okay,
Let's actually mute
switching
myself.
over screens.
Yep.
And someone's got the stream in the background.
Yep, that's me.
Oh, Chris. If it's not Neil, it's you, isn't it?
Well, it's because when I load it, it automatically went up because I was actually watching it last time.
I mean, my computer keeps crashing.
Oh, that's not very good, is it?
So, yeah, no, it's not.
Yeah, so I've switched over to main cameras and Theatre of the Mind. Yeah, hello, peoples.
Hello, people who are just suddenly tuning in to like a one shot. Oh, sure, one shot's a pretty good way to like get into the world.
Yeah.
Let's see.
What was I doing? I was thinking of the thing, wasn't I?
Yes, thinking about why your character is here. All right, while you're doing that, hello, welcome back to the world of Alterra. We're doing a one-shot today, and it's going to be Aberrations of the Opera set in... Actually, let me just get what the spiel I wrote up for the intro, because why reinvent the wheel? Set in Aqaba within the realm of Eros, one of our first ever settings. You can see James is already excited for it, getting to return to some old characters and introducing old characters to some new players. I'm almost excited for that. I love watching just see new players destroy NPCs that James has fallen in love with.
Please.
Just point him in the right direction. Just point him in the right direction.
You guys kill Smile and McGee. It's fine.
Sorry.
Please.
So yes, set in Aqaba in the realm of Eros during the height of the Ragnar Crusade Wars. Resources are thin, tensions are high, and most able-bodied adventurers are away fighting at the frontiers. Except those either too cowardly, too selfish, or with other motivations or reasons for why they must stay in the city. Maybe they're back for a bit of rest between bouts and need some extra coin. Either way, the call has gone out to the Adventurers Guild. Heroes, or what remains of them in the city, are needed. Oh, there goes my hood. To deal with several incursions that have happened during the Madonna's latest performances. Horrid, mutating aberrations have been summoned during the performances. Let me just get up. James, why is your face blocking my text? There we go. And of course, unacceptable damage to the patrons and performances, killing dozens of people across the event. The problem has gone to such an extent that even Mr. Smiles, one of the more prominent members within the Performers Guild and head of the Circus of Smiles, has taken an interest and has put up a bounty for individuals to come and get to the bottom of the event, putting an end to those responsible, which has brought our heroes out of the woodworks, whereas previously, apparently, they wouldn't get out of the woodworks. I don't know. We'll get into people of note in a second once we get to know each of your characters, but let's go around and meet today's adventurers that have come out to get to the bottom of this problem. We'll go... have you guys all changed your name on Roll20 yet? Or we're going to go with Karn.
Yep.
Karn, who's Karn?
Yeah. Karn
Not
is
even
new. So, yep, I'm Ben. Tonight I'm playing Karn, who is a bugbear Barbarian Paladin. Never really played this combo before, so I'm going to see how that goes. They are still in the city because they were injured and sent back to the city for recuperation. He's now fully healed and has heard about the adventurers or the Adventurers Guild looking for people to fight, basically.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, you're doing a bit of extra side work while you're here before you, I imagine, you head back out again, or to be fair, even great adventurers need to take breaks to go spend their loot in between adventuring. Fair enough. Okay. Haiku Loku.
Hey, I'm TR. I'm playing
Force of
Haiku
confidence.
Loku, Turtle Monk Bard, and I never left the city. My aim is to buy up all the businesses that the adventurers have left. So I'm trying to sweep up all of the gyms, all of the beer halls. I'm just trying to make some extra money so I can buy some more.
Could this?
I'm
town
here
have
for the
closed-
cash.
Could this town have closed my inn?
It's gotta.
Well, no, because you actually had NPCs running the inn because you were never there to begin with.
This is true.
So it's not like it suddenly stopped operating when you left. And also, it was
Yes,
the
but
party's
it could
inn.
be sold.
By the time we got back, it was closed. So the
Anyway.
the original 5, they're still in the dungeon, Pride's dungeon at this point.
No, this is during the height of the Ragnar. Oh
So
no,
we're
you guys
back there.
did teleport back.
But it just the portals opened and then time passed because it was like every hour there was a year back at home or something.
Yeah, so yeah, forget that you guys weren't the original party from the original adventure wouldn't actually have been in the city. So yes, that was the time where Romo had taken to becoming the champion and was running the city before the council, the new council was formed. So yes, the Ramshackle Inn had been closed down. Blackstar's Inn is currently desolate.
Then I own the Ramshackle Inn. I'm putting it in my notes.
Fuck you.
Of Ramshackle Inn.
You come in, you play as my son that I never knew I had. You overtake my business. What is this, TR? Are you genuinely trying to be me? Because if so, I'm flattered but horrified.
No, I'm just generally just going to ruin each of your characters bit by bit. I'm going to needle my way in.
Yep, that's fair. Thrug, let's move on to you.
Yeah, so
Blackstar next.
no Blackstar. Ian, I'm going to be playing Thrug, the half-orc barbarian fighter. He's waiting to be sent out to the front. He's been given his orders that he will be going to the front, but he wants to try and raise a bit of coin before he goes for his family that he's leaving behind. So he's going to take on a few odd jobs just before he goes.
That's fair. It's very noble. All right, and James, who are you playing as today?
I'm playing as Akron Jargosh. They are a hobgoblin wizard, and they have worked for a while now at the Arcane Academy, and they're trying to organize, essentially, Luke Skywalker-esque. They're trying to organize the next generation of wizards who can assist and go out to the front line, and assist in that sort of fight.
Okay, fair. God, I feel like everyone in the Roll20, write down a brief description of your character again, because I've already forgotten. I'm so bad at maintaining information in my head. And then James, with that name, definitely get in the Roll20, so I don't have to remember what the hell your name was.
Akron.
Akron. I'll try and remember that. We'll see.
Wait,
All right.
Akron?
So yes, Aqaba is currently at this stage a very pressed city on all frontiers, and also a massively growing city. A couple years ago, the Four Nations was effectively the ruling power structure within the southern Eros. These were the four main city-states of Salarin, Highgarden, Steamforge, and Bloodraven, which pretty much controlled their own territories, with the central burgeoning city of Aqaba acting as a way hub or diplomatic ground for the four nations to come together and confer with each other. At that time, it was quite a small city. It was still growing. It had only been about 100 years old. During the Ragnar War Crusades, however, 4 portals opened up effectively underneath or within the 4 city-states, with the exception of Steamforge, where the portal opened a little bit way away, and therefore the city was sieged rather than destroyed. But Salarin, Highgarden, and Bloodraven were all practically destroyed overnight as these portals opened, summoning massive kaiju beasts from the Plains of War, along with armies of blood orcs and goblins, causing mass migration into the central city of Aqaba. Now, currently the city is undefended. Practically, it does have a wall, but it is just spilling with migration from the other cities, with refugees, and therefore resources are really tight, especially as the Western plains, where a lot of the food is grown, is seeing massive fields being raised from just the approaching army. So resources are tight. Heroes are off trying to beat back these armies, but being that they are armies of the divine, anytime their soldiers are killed, they return to the heavens only to be spit back out the portals. And so far, the armies of Aqaba, or the makeshift army of Aqaba, as you've currently got these fragmented power structures from the 4 nations kind of working with the Aqaba government to try and piece some resistance or some defense together, and there's a lot of political maneuvering and butting heads going on. Which has left Aqaba in this strange situation where it is both rapidly growing, but also on a knife's edge, where there is so little resources, but things are having to be hodgepodge put together. Resources are constantly being diverted to one of the 4 fronts, and there is just poverty amassing within the streets, and just things generally degrading at a quickened pace.
Money to be made.
Yep.
If you don't mind suffering.
And money to be made. However, there is still a little bit of light in the darkness. A prominent figure has risen to take up charge within Aqaba. The God, I forgot what I've called him. He called the Champion, I believe was his moniker at the time. Has this mysterious figure who nobody actually knows who they are, but they have risen up the ranks and somehow, through some power, seem to be coordinating the various factions together to actually put on a defense. And so far, it is causing a morale boost within the city of this great champion, as well as just propaganda being spewed everywhere about these heroes of Aqaba, or the Devil's Plight, or the Devil's Blight, as they were called, of these heroes that initially arise and had caused so much chaos and seem to have been partly responsible for these portals. Figures by the name of Taiwan and Blackstar and Megamouth and other such entities, who the champion is speaking out that, these individuals who've suddenly come here and caused all these problems, who defeated the Balor during the championship of the tri-annual tournament, they are responsible for this. And there's, among the lower ranks or the lower ends of the city, there's debate about, is this just the champion trying to put blame on someone? There's still some resistance to, well, no, these heroes couldn't be to blame for all this. But on the other hand, there's a massive popularity of, well, they did kind of come out of nowhere, and ever since they arrived, shit keeps happening. So I don't know, maybe they are responsible for all this bad stuff that's happening just by their mere presence. Because as we all know, protagonist syndrome is very real in D&D.
He's a liar! He's a fucking liar!
The 2 biggest figures during this are Taiwan and Blackstar, who have kind of captured the massive, Taiwan being this icon of this warriorness, of this kind of good-natured fighter who fights for those who need help, and seems to have a lot of strong connections among the orphanages and the impoverished and the lower ends of society. And then Blackstar, the multi-performance icon who took the performing world by stage when they first arrived with their enchanting, bass lines, notes, etc. They're a bard. They did bard stuff.
You give me too little credit.
Too little credit. But yes, so the prominent people in this figure are the Adventurers League has put out this call, and you have met with the head of the Adventurers, or at least the assistant of the head of the Adventurers League, as the main guy is currently out during the War Council, or helping to fight off various factions that are approaching. And you've been given a contact for your quest. The contact being Mr. Smiles of the Performers Guild, the newly arrived Circle of Smiles, who was imported in the last year from Bloodraven. They're currently new on the scene, and they seem to be consolidating with the Performers Guild to kind of merge their various migration into the city from performers around the nations into some sort of cohesive function. In effect, the Performers Guild seems to have better governments than any of the other factions so far. Particularly, we're trying to get performances to encourage and boost morale within the city, to try and keep crime at bay, and also just encourage people to get through it, to ration as they can. Your standard propaganda arm. So Mr. Smiles is your main contact, for he is the one who put out the bounty. You've also been given directions and permission to speak to the Madonna staff herself. She can be found in her main performance theater. And as well as that, you've also got permission from the head of the guards, who also currently isn't in the city, but has been given you permission via their secretary to interview any of the guards who have been assigned to the area and were first on call to actually arrive and deal with the incursions. So with that, I think that gives a good overview of the city. Give a quick layout of the city. You're predominantly focused on the southwest area, which is the performance district, or the performance quarters. That is where the incursions has happened. You've got the market square in the center. It's in the southeast west.
I thought it was northwest.
No, that's the forging district. It's in the bottom left.
Yeah, that's right.
On a map. But the other areas aren't relevant to this quest. You have your standard, what you'd expect from a growing, gonna come into its own Renaissance magical city. So with that, where would the party like to start? Where would they like to go first? As you're kind of brought together at the Adventurers Hall, and let's start at the Adventurers Hall. Do the party know each other? Do they work together only because they think it will be better not to get in each other's way? What is your motivation? And this is the little asterisk here if the DM is forcing you into a party. What is your motivation for working with each other? As there will be other factions that you can fight later.
As a native of the town, I reckon that we would probably recognize that there are people like, well, maybe not the Valkyrie Guild, but certainly some that are 4 or 5 people that are definitely going after this prize, as it were. So we might want to have more than just one person going for disparate sort of elements going after the same thing. So I think for myself, I think for Archon, it would be a marriage of convenience. We sort of need each other in order to have a shot. Some of our part kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of similarly. A big payout split 4 ways is better than a small payout to yourself. So Throg would...
Or death.
Or death, yeah. So yeah, so Throg would be joining up to get a bigger coin and less chance of death.
For Haiku, starting off in a big party is always good because there's lots of bodies to be thrown at problems, and if you're the one that survives, the cut is bigger at the end.
Precisely.
So always make sure I stay until the end.
Calm is probably just there, kind of duty bound, kind of, to protect those that can't help themselves. And
would you be hanging around the Adventurers Guild anyway? Because if you were on the front line and injured, they have healers.
Yeah, he's probably being healed in the guild.
Fair dude.
That's fair. The guild does have a discount on a healing package for adventurers for who get injured in the line of duty. They still charge, but they basically get you would all have an adventurers membership guild, and it gives you discounts on healing and supplies.
Cool.
All right. So as we kind of skip forward of the inevitable, the party distrusts each other, the party kind of get reluctantly working with each other. You come to your first choice as a party of where would you like to start first? You can meet up with the district guard who was in charge of the kind of more minor guards during the area. You can go to Mr. Smiles, who is actually offering the bounty, see what information that they have, or you can go straight to the scene of the crime at the Madonna's Theatre and also question herself and her staff. Where would you like to start?
Um,
Could I have been at one of the performances? Because as a teacher, I would definitely have money to spare.
It would be quite the coincidence, but go ahead and give me a fate die check to see if that coincidence lines up.
Oh, I can't do that. For some reason, Roll20 keeps on. I've just had to restart my computer. I roll a 7.
Then no. Unfortunately, you have not been at any of these performances.
Oh, I meant a 17.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, you said 7.
I'll just roll a fucking D20 in.
I think that Haiku would go for the district guard first, get the man on the street's opinion, rather than one of these highfalutin people.
19.
A 19.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's fine. You don't need to change your camera. If you start rolling like 5 20s in a row, then I'll get suspicious and have you do it. But okay. You wouldn't have been exactly within the performance itself. The Madonna's performances are... Well, the Madonna is one of the most famous celebrities and figures within Aqaba itself. So the tickets are incredibly difficult to get, and these are generally limited performances for nobles or high-ranking members of society. But you were in close proximity when one of these events happened. You were on Performance Street, and you were either outside the theater or nearby the theater when you heard the screams and people flocking out into the streets. You may have gone inside to check. The question is, do you believe it's within your persona to run into danger? And I'll leave this entirely up to you.
They've lived a good long while. If they're one of those hobgoblins, they'd be more likely to run towards danger and take notes than to run away at first sign of trouble. They want to bust their nosy.
For lore reasons, you also get the added extra of unique and rare species, as hobgoblins, for plot reasons, do not exist in Eros. So you have come from one of the distant realms to actually arrive in Eros, either before you were born or after you were born. I'll leave that up to you if you grew up here. But you also have discovered that there isn't a native hobgoblin population in anywhere in the continent of Eros. Which I'll let you decide how that factors into your character and if they seek out why, or they just assume they were just never born here. There are races that just aren't in any of the other various realms unless they migrate there. But okay, as you ran in, I need either athletics or acrobatics check from you to see how well you would have gotten through the crowds. Now, while you're doing that, I believe we'd heard calls to going to see the head of the guards. Was there anyone else who wanted to yay or nay for that?
Yep, Khan would probably go for that. He would probably use his military knowledge to try persuade or intimidate them to give them the information.
Okay, then. Let me bring this up. James, what was that athletics or acrobatics check from you?
It was an acrobatics, and it was a 14.
A 14? It took you a little bit of pushing and maneuvering your way around the fleeing crowd as you were going upstream, as they were all trying to stream out of the theater. And you weren't there to see the initial kind of confrontation of the guards and the mutating aberrations, but you did get the tail end of one of them being kind of pushed back and defeated by about 6 to 7 guards with spears, just trying to hammer in at them. and trying to push them back. The aberrations themselves are these strange mucus creatures, almost like ropers or gibbering mouthers in a way, in that kind of strange fleshy appearance, but without the kind of same composition. They seem to just have a strange assortment. Some of them had tentacles, some of them had mouths or an eye. You couldn't really determine a exact aberrational species. They seem to either be a mix of a couple things or either some sort of joint hybrid of something.
Good to know.
But you were there as they got defeated. You kind of lingered around the scene before being kind of shoved off by the guards, just because they were kind of thinging down everything, trying to get people out. Actually, what's your passive perception first?
With back, perception only a 10. This character is not perceptive.
Okay. You caught sight of something as the monsters were kind of pushed back and defeated. You can see that there were a couple corpses off the guards. There was definitely damage done here. These creatures were definitely powerful enough to pose a problem to just an individual, or at least an individual of a guard layer. And Akiba's guards, while their ranks have been diminished with the war front, they have maintained a decent stock at home, and they've been trying to keep. Well, the Akiba's guild is or guards are just heavily trained, regardless of they don't really allow what do you call it, like sluggers or people to kind of just get by with doing the bare minimum in the guards. It's quite a prestigious slackers. There we go. It's quite a prestigious position still. So even the guards that are remaining are still, while not of the best quality, are still high tier 1, if not tier 2.
Yeah, they're not Dad's army.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you're saying.
So the fact that it took about 6 or 7 of these really suggests the power of these aberrational creatures, and that was just to beat back one that you saw. You're not quite sure how many there were. You saw 1 or 2 more corpses, but as you're kind of hushed out, you catch a sight of one of the corpses of these aberrationals almost disintegrating into what looks like maybe ash or something, or to a pile of ash. They seem to decompose in a way. And you're not quite sure why or how. Maybe it's normal for aberrations. Who knows? But it's something that you noticed as you were being hustled out of the theater.
Okay.
So, as for the rest of you, after Archon fills you in on all of this while you're walking towards the guard posts, you eventually arrive at the what is the guard station on the performers district. It's a small building, not quite the size of the large training complex that is the guards main headquarters, but it's a small building with maybe a jail or 2 in it, a front desk, normally used for complaints or to kind of throw any rebel rousers in the streets into just a drunk tank for the night. But you are given directions to it, and it's at the edge of the Performance Street. So Performance Street is this massive, long, kind of highway street with these huge theaters on either side of varying architectural designs, and all the way at the end of the large. So Aqaba has this massive circular road that goes around inside the wall, that then kind of connects up with 4 main roads that cross it. Performance Street is one of the diagonal main roads that kind of goes inwards off this outer road, and the guild house is just at the end there. So it does take them a little bit of time to kind of run down if there's a disturbance, especially because you know the Madonna's Theatre is one of the main central hubs at the end towards the center of the city. So it would take them a good 20 to 30 minute response time to get from that to get all the way to the Madonna's Theatre. But as you enter, you see this. Let me just check who's going to be on watch today.
It's Rock. It's always Rock. Because he's Hawkeye.
Let's have a look here. Can't be them for plot reasons. Okay. Weird name, but fair enough. You see this male mountain dwarf in the general leathers of the Akiba guard, kind of just sitting on a stool with one hand on his face at the center counter as you kind of walk in. And he kind of glances up at you, but just kind of glances down and just kind of looks off in the room, not really paying attention. He seems to be the only one here. There does look to be doors into back rooms, and you can see this kind of jail door that leads into a corridor leading further into the building. How would you like to approach him?
I'm gonna greet him in Dwarvish. Hello there. We're looking for Kieran. Is he around?
Oh, Kieran, you say?
Yes.
Kieran. Who's asking?
Gesture around. We are. We're working for Mr. Smiles.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check. It's quite a big name to drop around here. At this, you immediately see the dwarf kind of straighten up. Aye, Mr. Smiles, you say? Oh, why didn't you say
Why
so?
else would we be here?
Why didn't you say so sooner? Karen, he's in the back office. You want me to go get him for it? Can I get you anything else? Any water? We got a sandwich. You want a sandwich?
Ask around like, Waters? Waters, anyone? Waters?
What kind of sandwich?
We got goat and arcanite. Goat and lettuce. Goat and goat's cheese.
Go.
That last one, Thurg would just extend his hand and be like, give it.
I mean, we only have the one. It was gonna be my lunch, but for Mr. Smiles, of course. Let me just go get that for you. As he hops off the stool, and you see him kind of just waddle into one of the back rooms. You hear a little bit of muttering. With anyone with a high enough passive perception, the building isn't that small. He's just literally a room away. And he's talking quite loud and dwarven. You can easily overhear him kind of giving the same repeal of what's happening, there's people here from Mr. Smiles, they're here to see you, Captain, etc., etc.
I do have to ask, when he was listing off the sandwiches, was there someone in the background going, I don't even like goat?
Given the fact that there's 3 sandwiches, I'm going to assume there's at least one other NPC here apart from the captain, so yes, it'll be that person. Which, let me just bring them up. They'll be back with the drunks.
Because
you just hear coming through the little tail door.
Yeah, all that was going through my head was the spam scene from Monty Python. spam an egg.
But you quickly see the dwarf kind of run out or like waddle out of the room and then go into one of the other rooms on the opposite side, and you start to hear kind of cupboard doors being thrown open. You start to hear glass chinking together, a running tap of water. While this is all happening, coming out of the first room is, let's have a look here.
Khan's going to look down to Haiku and say, in Dwarvish, I didn't know you could speak Dwarvish.
I have many talents you don't know.
Fair. Looks around at the other two. Anyone else? Still in Dwarvish.
I nod. I can't speak it, but I can understand it.
Fair enough.
Thurg would just stare through you like 1,000 yards there, like, what?
Cool. I don't know why
They're asking if
Dwarvish.
you can speak Dwarvish.
No. Barely speak common.
Yes.
Yes, but coming out of the first room is a quite muscular and well-trained figure of a male tiefling, or at least a male-presenting tiefling, in your standard armor. Very well polished, very well kept. You can see a short sword at his hip. His demeanor and posture seems to suggest maybe he doesn't have quite the commanding presence as somebody like the head of the Adventurers League, or the few times we've actually met or seen the head of the guards, a figure called Vimes. He just gives off such a imposing, collected, do you like that reference? Collected appearance. He's secretly a barbarian, by the way. Yeah.
Goes through streams every couple months.
Yep.
It's
Um,
barbarian.
but he, the tiefling that walks out, while not quite as imposing, definitely gives off an air of, he couldn't kill you with a single look, but he could at least stand himself in a fight. He's at least a guy who's willing to have a bit of backbone to him. As he kind of strolls out. All right, my name's Captain Devram. What seems to be the problem here? I'm heard that you've been sent by Mr. Smiles. Is that accurate? Did
Yep.
my
Accurate, but there's no
colleague-
problem. We're looking for Kieran.
You know what? I completely forgot I already gave him a name. That's my bad. Let's retcon that. This is Kieran. This is what happens when you give names and don't actually pay attention to Twitter. I'm sorry, did I? Yes, Devrin's my middle name. It's the nickname that my colleagues like to give me. Kieran Devrin Krajur at your service. What do you want?
I thought he was a high elf.
Ah, yes, well, that's a rumor that likes to get sent about me.
A lot
As you
of
can see in
rumors.
my bio here, it says Tiefling.
I advise you to roll a history check and then.
Yes, what do you want?
We just want a word about what happened at the Madonna.
Oh, yes, nasty business. I take it you're here for the bounty. Not the first group I've had through today.
Nope, we are here for safety first.
All
The
right,
bounty will be
well,
second.
we did our standard investigation. I'll tell you what I told them, as well as Mr. Smiles' own people. They were also here yesterday having a look into it. We heard there was a disturbance. We got port of a conflict. We sent a couple guards in. Those couple guards died, unfortunately. It's a shame. Good soldiers, good guards. A little bit too young to go to the front lines, but well, they protected what they could. It's a real shame. I have to live with that.
So
But we
she's already
eventually.
spoken up about it.
Oh, don't take it. Don't look into that too much. No, I've also been told I have a stunted personality. Really hard to display emotion. Something about growing up a tiefling, constantly being thrown and smacked with stones for being a devilborn, makes you really reserve yourself, really solidify your personal displays.
Yep, that kind of thing can make you grow a hard shell.
Mm.
Yes.
And you would know.
But anyway, we're not here for a therapy
Yes.
session. So,
No.
when the higher guards arrived, they were able to round up and put an end to the monstrosities that occurred. Not the first time. We've actually been getting our response time down now. We've been able to keep a couple guards nearby. Strangest thing, though, while patrolling the perimeter, we couldn't discover any signs of portal activity, which is what we'd normally expect from some form of summoning, either some sort of ritual circle or even the presence or sounds of spell casting. But we've investigated the theater extensively, even looking through the trap doors for the underground kind of passageways that all these places inevitably have, and no, for the foggiest, I can't figure out where they keep coming from. They seem to just spontaneously appear around the theater itself, making it really hard to police. We've requested politely of the Madonna that she cease any former or any continued performances, but, well, then the money would stop flowing and morale would drop throughout the city. They're quite popular, and also the noble class is already kicking off a fuss, both somehow wanting their performance, but wanting it to be entirely safe. So of course we all get the blame. It's all the guards' fault that we aren't stopping these in time so the nobility can enjoy a song.
Bards.
But hey, what are you gonna do? Am I right?
Unfortunately,
So,
it's
yeah.
just the way of the world.
So I'm not ashamed to admit that we haven't got the foggiest of what's going on. We've tried to request archmagis from the school to come into it. There must be something arcane involved. We've even had the church come by to make sure there isn't any planar tears or desecrated ground in the area. And so far, all of those investigations have come up naught. No, our only conclusion is definitely has to be orchestrated by somebody able to bypass our guards. We're thinking an inside job. It's the only explanation. But we can't quite confirm or rule it out. So yes, that's been my week for the last couple days now. Obviously, we've got another performance tonight, and we're expected to stop it this time, or there will be repercussions, but... Well, quite frankly, I think the nobility are batshit for continuing with this.
Hmm.
Can I ask
Yes.
you 2 questions?
Yes.
First is, have they always appeared in the same spot? Inside the theatre?
Oh, yeah. Well, inside the theater, but never in the same rooms. We've had guards posted at each major exit. We've had them patrolling. On the third night, we even had, and this took a bit of resourcing, to get a guard in every single room, as well as several in the main antechamber where the performances takes place. And that's the foggiest, right? The guards are just wherever they are summoned or conjured or wherever they're brought into existence or however they get into the theater are all immediately killed. We've had a couple clerics speak with dead to see what they can learn from the guards, but each of their souls say the same thing. I don't know, Captain. He attacked me from behind. Before I knew it, I was dead. No, and poor fellows, unfortunately, resources so tight, we can't actually afford the resurrection for them. So, but hey, they're all good souls. Most of them went to one of the divine planes, so that's good at least. At least they're getting rest. At least they're getting peace. No more hunger or starvation for them. So it couldn't be all bad.
True.
Yes, their
My
troubles
second
are
question is more important, I feel. What can we do to help you at tonight's performance?
Well, figure out what's going on before then would be ideal. I mean, hey, that's why you're getting the big bucks, right? More than I make in a bloody year. Yeah, that is, yep.
Well, if it was easy, I'm sure you already would have figured it out.
Yes.
Well, yes, don't rub it in or anything.
Honestly, wasn't trying to. Okay. Is there anything else you think could help us?
Well, we did extensive interviews, and I'm not supposed to use the word interrogation anymore. It doesn't sound correct in these low morale times, but extensive interviews with several of the staff, anyone of key importance or note. We also did some background checks on them. And there's a couple suspicious types that you should look into. I'll have old Drunken Fists over here as you see the dwarf coming in with just a tray of waters and sandwiches. Coming in, just placing them down. Well, what's that, Captain? Oh, I can make a list of. Oh, you want the suspicious lads and lass, right? The ones whose background didn't come quite through squeaky clean. Yes, if you could do that, that'd be great. I suggest having a look at these characters. There's something suspicious about them, but theater folks just can't get a peg on them. Quite frankly, I think they're all secretly criminal.
I mean, they are actors.
Oh, no, I mean the stagehands and the people trying to get into the performances. No. Hell, as far as I know, Madonna might be doing it herself, you right? Trying to create a buzz.
Anything for some publicity.
No, it wouldn't be the first time. No, I remember, what was it, a year or two ago, there was a big public display. A couple strange, I don't know, I like to call them hype growers or to bring in the eyes. I don't know. There was a competition with this fugitive called Blackstar, Apparently she was stealing attention throughout the city or something. So the Madonna did these big spectacles to kind of draw people back to her. Apparently she was too old-fashioned. No, shame that she turned out to be a criminal, though, right? Caused all of this.
I remember that. She performed at the school a few times.
Oh
I
yeah,
had
had a rabid fan base.
Yes, there's some of them still. There's an underground cult there. We've of course tried to stamp it out, but you know, kids these days and their fashion idols.
No, I try to avoid this arcane school whenever I can.
Mm,
No, it doesn't help ever since the Salaran Islands arrived and plopped down outside of town and merged with the academy. Somehow
Yes.
grown 5 times. Now we've got students and kids from all over causing chaos. That's just what we need. Teenagers with magic.
Yes. Anyway,
But anyway.
do you have a body of one of these creatures that we
No,
can inspect?
strangest damn thing. They always turn to some form of ash once we'd killed them.
Do you have any of the ash? Perhaps we can identify which plane it came from.
I'm going to be frank with you. We never thought to keep it. It's ash.
And that's why they brought us in, because you never thought.
Look, I'm gonna forgive that since you're working for Mr. Smiles and he supplements the pay of the guards in this area, especially lately, in order to get the numbers in. But let's not forget here, when you're off gallivanting around the realm, we're the ones who stay home to make sure everything runs smoothly. So I'm sorry if my expertise with aberrational extraplanar creatures isn't quite up to scratch. I grew up, taking down regular criminals.
Yes, and you keep our streets extra clean, and we applaud you for it.
All right. Well, I'm done talking to him. Any of you three got anything?
Please forgive my colleague.
I won't, but continue.
I believe I was promised a sandwich.
Yes, I'm not quite sure why. Which sandwich did you want?
Yes. It was goat. I remember that. I think goat and goat cheese.
Oh, yes, you can have that one. It's not mine. Any of you want a sandwich?
No.
No, I'm good, thank you. Goat doesn't agree with me.
Good. You see him pick up the one with like a little sparkle of red in it. Just take a bite. No, you don't mind. I got paperwork to fill out. Let me know if you stop this by tonight. I gotta somehow requisition a dozen more guards in uniform to actually patrol the area. Bloody nobles.
It will be our second call.
You know, you should try orange arcanite. Really adds a depth of flavor that red, it's a good level of spice, but orange...
You see him turn to the rest.
Out.
She always this crazy? Everyone knows only red has flavor. Goes into the back office.
Wow.
So, God, any ideas?
Oh, one second. I'm still writing down that list of names. I've lost my dwarven accent. He's still writing down the list of names, and we'll get that to you in a second.
Yep.
There's particularly few people that I need to actually write down. I'll get that he thinks you should look into, predominantly stagehands who were acting a bit suspicious and couldn't account for their whereabouts during the nights, saying that, they were just kind of running all over the place, and whose background checks didn't come back with sufficient detail to kind of explain where they were, which isn't unusual given the amount of immigration that's occurred with refugees lately. But your DM has to write all that down for you first, because he has to generate it first.
Khan would probably suggest, maybe looking at the theatre or wherever it was that was the show was being done.
So that's the Madonna's what'd she call it? Opera house? Yeah, she's an opera singer.
Yeah.
This would be the Madonna's Opera House, which is one of the larger establishments next to the actual Performers Guild itself, which there is kind of this unofficial ranking system in the kind of opera houses and theater spaces of the closer you are to the main Performers Guild, the more prestige and kind of power you have, and the further
Broadway.
away
I
you
love
are.
Broadway. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Broadway and off-Broadway.
So the Madonna is actually one of the major houses right next to it, whereas on the kind of opposite side in its own little area with a pathway that was kind of dug into it but isn't technically next to it is where they set up the Circus of Smiles tents. But they were created in one of the larger fields. They just have pathways to the point where I'm pretty sure they demolished one of the smaller theaters to create a pathway up to it from next to the actual Performers Hill. Yes, you want to go?
I think that's a great idea. Let's go. Plug, any plans from you?
Thurg's just going to be eating that sandwich he was given. He's just tagging along, just like, tell me when you want me to hit something.
I think you two might be involved in the questioning. You seem quite persuasive.
I mean, Khan is probably about 7 foot tall, so yeah. Big, muscular, imposing sort of. Yeah.
You're essentially walking with hired muscle, because
basically
Thrug would be like high 6 foot as well, just munching on teeny tiny sandwich.
Just be like Shaq drinking a bowl of water.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Yeah, so heading towards the Opera House. Do you guys think it might be prudent to speak to the Performers Guild?
Well, the Madonna's the head of the Performance Guild. And
she's one of the high-ranking members. Technically, they have a council.
She's one of the heads of the Performance Guild.
Yes, but there might be...
If anyone would know anything, she doesn't often... Well, she often hears things around this city that others don't.
Head not always know what arse do.
I mean, I've got to say that has always been not the case for me. I'm always aware of what my ass is doing, but okay.
Not exactly eloquent, but not untrue.
Is it a bugbear saying?
It's a goblinoid saying, yes. You may be right.
Do you suspect that somebody in the Performers Guild is trying to embarrass the Madonna? Gain her spot?
Embarrass, upset, destroy, who knows?
Usurp?
Maybe.
Would we be aware of a bit of friction? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, is there a bit of friction between Smiles and the Madonna?
Either
if I remember rightly, there was
a history check or an insight check, your choice. See what you know for rumors.
History. Would I have advantage because I'm from the city?
No, technically everyone would be from this, or at least know the city in the last couple of years.
I will guidance myself also.
So it's unfortunately too vague for this scenario.
What? Come on, what? At least a 2. That's crap. Well, just shy of the DC I wanted.
I mean, still 19, still pretty good. You would know that there, in general, has been a lot of tension between the various heads of the Performers Guild, especially with the arrival of Mr. Smiles, simply because he isn't native to Aqaba. He actually comes from Bloodraven, and he migrated here during, well, the Great Refugee Crisis of the when the Ragnar Crusade Wars began. And he's very quickly kind of placed himself within the hierarchy and is very quickly gaining power to the point where while he he's kind of unofficially the new head of the Performers Guild. He isn't officially recognized as that.
Has the council meeting thing taken place yet?
No,
The
so
Smiles Without. So that hasn't happened yet.
No, so that's the formation of the Council of 10, the new Akaba kind of rulership. That doesn't occur until later in a couple of years once the original party returns.
Okay, cool. Good to know. But he's like where the Madonna is like highfalutin sort of theater. He is come step right up for the common people kind of thing. So he's
Barnum and
is that
Bailey.
right?
Yeah. Exactly. He runs
P.T.
the
Barnum.
Circus of Smiles, which is much more economically friendly to the lower classes than the Madonna, which is much more highbrow.
Okay.
Okay, good to know. So there would be that sort of class divide anyway. I think perhaps we should ask the performers of the theatre itself. They may remember something, or whoever may have perpetrated this. If there were no portals open, that means the creatures would have been here already.
To clarify, there's no signs of portals being opened.
There was no signs of portals, so either they were very sneakily made, or the creatures were here already and were perhaps asleep in cages and weren't unleashed until an optimum point. Whether that was during the performance when everyone was in their seat and enjoying the show and at their most vulnerable, or when the guards were let down. Either way, I think the theatre house may be the place to go.
Yep. So, I mean, we were heading towards the Opera House anyway. So, I just mentioned like the Performers Guild, just because it was next to it, basically.
We may split the party. Half of us may go and investigate, and the other half perhaps to investigate the scene, and the other half to investigate the people, see if there's any bad blood towards the Madonna and her establishment in the guild itself.
I would have said that's a good idea, but you proved with our tiefling friend to be not that gentle when it comes to speaking to others.
That's why I would go and investigate the scene. It is what I do as a wizard and practicer of the arcane. Not so good with talking to people, but I'm pretty good at finding things that others don't see. 'Tis my opinion anyway. If I'm outvoted, I'm outvoted.
More eyes, better. Look.
While you guys are having your discussion, the dwarf finally hands over the piece of paper with the list of names, and you see a couple of prominent figures that. Oh, and these are the ones that the cap thought was the most suspicious. Either they wouldn't give full answers, or I don't know, their stories were inconsistent with the night. But we haven't found anything enough to kind of prove. Obviously, we did a search of each of them, and we didn't discover anything out of the unusual. Nothing that could be used to do any summoning magic or anything like that. So yeah, obviously, stage director was the big one. Her and the guy who does all the heavy lifting and orchestrating backstage. But they're also really personal friends of Madonna, and we were given strict instructions to stop harassing them and let them get on with their jobs. They couldn't possibly be involved. There's also two of the stagehands, which we found predominantly suspicious. A little gnome and a female air genasi who, well, I don't know. They seem to be unusually busy, constantly I don't know, people said they spotted them at in different areas where they shouldn't have been, and when we pressed them for answers, they're very kind of nervous and skittish about answering them, saying that their memories were just bad, or they gave up these quick, which, quite frankly, between us, I think were just excuses as to why they were there. So those two seem definitely. And then we got the Oddity. I think they give their name as Alias. I'm not quite sure if Alias is actually their name or if it's an alias, but I don't. What? But I don't know. We tried to figure out what they actually do at the company, and well, they said that they did private work for the Madonna, and that was all they were at liberty to tell us. And if we had any further questions about them, well, they'd have to go to the Madonna himself. Something called client confidentiality or something, that they couldn't divulge secrets. I don't know. Really strange enigma of an individual. Had these great pearly earrings though. Oh, they were beautiful. Love them. Really sparkly. Dwarf knows how to appreciate a good gem. But yeah, we asked Madonna about them, and they said to leave them alone too. Well, I don't know. She kind of half shouted, or they kind of half shout. No, she kind of half shouted at us while she was getting ready into costume. So yeah, it's really difficult getting interviews or trying to extensive interviews. The term we're trying to use these days with celebrities who are really busy. They kind of never actually take the time to think about your questions. But anyway, that's the list the Cap wanted me to give you. So if that's all, I'm gonna have one of these other sandwiches here because you took my one, so I'm gonna have the last sandwich here.
Just take the last bite of that sandwich as it says that.
But aye. So I guess I'm only having one of my two sandwiches today.
Be lucky you have that one.
I'll slip him 2 copper.
Oh, with inflation, it's not gonna cover a
I'll
sandwich.
I'll slip him 1 silver. That should be enough for a whole meal deal.
Yeah, all right.
It better be.
Well, yeah, but there's
For the
also
sandwich.
rationing. Can I get your rationing tokens too?
I walk out.
No, I'm sorry. But yes, where did the party say they're going next?
Opera House.
Can it be called the Rocks Opera House so she can be the Madonna of the Rocks? Or is that too?
No,
too
she
much?
named it after herself in giant neon lights. I'm afraid she's very
The Madonna.
adamant on the name.
Yeah. No, I can see why Blackstar gravitated towards it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yes, as you approach the, you kind of have to go for a 20-30 minute stroll down the performance circle. The first thing that kind of spots to your attention is there's this strange mixture and tension in the air. You can see people kind of walking up and down the streets performing, kind of hurdling. You can see people kind of waving with billboards on their chests, or kind of handing out flyers to passerbys. But at the same time, there's this tension to the air as you kind of watch the performer or the audience members who are kind of taking flyers to kind of take them, their eyes drooped down, and kind of continue walking. Out of the corner eye, you can see down the kind of alleyways in between. There are people kind of huddled around, just kind of for warmth. Seems to be a large homeless population in the area, and you can see the performers have almost this fake smile kind of plastered on their face, kind of trying to still just hand things out. But none of them are directly engaging with any of the passerbys. There's this almost masquerade of happiness going on in the street.
Oh no, is this the Fringe, Chris? Oh my god.
I mean, it's 24/7 Fringe. It's literally like a performance avenue.
Oh dear.
But it's a Fringe during a wartime.
Oh no. That sucks.
I mean, the performers already don't get a lot of money.
Pay your freelancers.
Yes. As you get closer towards the the central area of the street, as you're gonna keep going down it, you can see a larger presence of guards. You can start to see guards outside, or kind of just strolling down the streets, just with a baton in their hands, just kind of keeping themselves armed and ready to pounce in if they need to, but also just kind of trying to keep the pressure of the scenario under control. And you kind of see occasionally you can see kind of people's eyes kind of darting out from the corridor, or the courier as like one of the carts go by, suggesting that there might be a bit of a crime tension growing here. As you can see people kind of grumbling whenever one of these more lavish noble carts or kind of caravans kind of go rumbling down towards the central area of the performance street. And you can see the guards kind of just almost standing at the entrance of alleyways, kind of with their back to the alleyways, but kind of almost blocking off sight from the alleyways towards the main street. And as you get closer to even the bigger theater places, you actually start to see what looks to be hired muscle bouncers outside in their. They're not quite made up in leather. A lot of them wearing these decent, like clean tank tops, like black tank tops. But you can see them with scars across their upper arms and faces, a mixture of kind of Goliaths and half-orcs, a couple of burly humans, a couple other races that look a little bit more, with a little bit extra scars around their face.
It
definitely suggests, it looks like they've hired out a retired, and all of them with a bit of age to their face. It looks like they've hired retired kind of veterans or gladiators for extra coin to guard the places. But eventually you arrive outside of the Madonna's opera house. Just her name, massive bulb lighting, just splashing out of, I don't know, let's say it's kind of midday. Even at midday with the daylight Aurora Borealis above, since for those watching for the first time, Alterra doesn't have a sun. It is actually a giant Dyson sphere with a massive Aurora Borealis light system that fluctuates inside the sphere, and is what causes the day and night cycle. With the astral sea in the center of it, and the elemental rings kind of halfway in the center of the Dyson sphere. All the continents are plastered on the inside of the actual sphere itself.
That's cool.
I think we worked it because we were being nerdy at one point. It's the size of the inner solar system. If you made the astral belt into a Dyson sphere, replacing with the sun is the Copper City, which is a reflavored sigil, with the elemental rings being where I think either Earth or Venus is. I think it's Venus. It's more closer.
I think it was Venus.
But it took something like, if you were to travel by like high-powered sail around the massive sea that also forms in between the realms, it would take you like decades to travel between the realms by boat, because you're having to go around the perimeter.
Good thing you don't age going through the astral sea, though.
Oh no, but that's the regular sea. The astral sea is the space in between.
Oh.
So it's actually easier to go up into another realm than it is to like sail there while still within the kind of prime realm exterior. So a little nerd lore. But yes, I'm giving up on this cloak now.
But so is there a matinee performance happening right now, or is it prep work for the evening performance, Chris?
So it's only prep work for the evening. They don't actually do a matinee performance. The theater is
amateurs.
Well, that's the thing. The opera, the Madonna's opera, literally solely exclusively does the Madonna's performances. And they only do one per night, and even then they take off various nights off, but it generates, like, there's such premium prices that it still generates enough money to operate.
Hamilton, I got it.
So there currently isn't a matinee performance or anything. There will be one later on tonight. It's currently about midday. I'd say about noonish. But even here, you can see that they've hired these large bulking figures. Actually, you see about twice as many as the other ones. While others may have 2 or 3, the Madonnas, as well as 1 or 2 of the other establishments in the higher echelon area, have about 5 to 6 bulking figures outside, currently just standing guard and watching.
I turn to. I'm sorry, was it North for your card?
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Was it?
Oh,
was it
Thrug.
Thrug. I knew it was a single syllable.
Yeah.
Perhaps you should speak to them in a native sort of manner, but politely. I feel they'll take your show of strength better than the bard or the wizard.
Yeah, they would squash you. That's fair.
Well, they would certainly try, but I would let them believe that they would win. But yes, perhaps you had best speak to them.
Cool. So, yeah, you said there were half orcs here, yeah?
Half orcs, Goliaths, couple humans.
Cool. Yeah, spy one of the half orcs and in orc, go up to him, just say, "Hail, brother." Put my hand out to sort of give a grip.
Hail. How can I help you? Are you here to see the Madonna? Are you on the guest list?
We're not on the guest list. We're here to investigate the goings on, the monsters.
Adventurers. I see.
Yeah.
Very well.
Can we get in?
I
Can
think
you let
you
us
have
pass?
your. I'll have to run this up the chain. I assume you each have your Adventurers Guild license?
We do, don't we?
Yes, if you're
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, if this is an
Adventurers
orc,
Guild.
we have no idea what you're on about.
Yeah. I'll turn to the rest of them and then come and just be like, adventure passes. You got yours. Everybody got them.
All right.
Left it in my other robes.
You have to understand, I gotta make sure you're not just rebel rivalers trying to get in. We've had a couple problems with fanatics over the last year or two, at least from what I've heard. It's actually my first day on the job.
Oh no, you gonna die?
Well, yeah, they're offering triple time after the last guys died. Hey, but I'm a veteran. I won I've won a couple blood pits in my day. What's a couple of aberrations to me? The trick is to jump into the fight last after everyone else is already weakened.
Okay, liking this guy less and less.
I'll bear that in mind, brother.
Did he say that in common or orc?
Oh, he's talking orc this entire time.
Ah, that's a shame. I was going to slip in my business card.
You're a manager.
But you have to understand, I actually quite like this gig. I just stand here and get paid. And I have to jump in if anything happens, but, well, as long as I'm jumping in last, I think I'll be fine. So
I'll keep that in mind.
So I like to not get fired, so I'm gonna go in and make sure that your attendance is okay. Is there anything you want me to pass along? I'm gonna probably be that what's the half elf's name? I don't know. She tends to run the things in Madonna's place. I'll go get her though, and ask her if it's all right. Who should I say is here other than adventurers? We've had a couple of those, and she's gotten a little bit pissy with adventurers these days.
We called safety first.
Yeah, safety first. Safety first. Adventuring group. Ironic
name, I take it.
Yes.
Apparently so. Whatever that means.
Yeah, safety first.
It certainly is the first time I'm hearing it.
I've.
To be honest, someone mentioned safety first earlier on. I thought that'd be a brilliant party name.
Mm-hmm. No, but
none of us humans are elves. Dwarves.
But be careful out there, brother. Tensions are running high. What with the orc racism prevalent throughout the city. God, it's like people can't differentiate between red and green skin. Am I right?
Yeah.
Do I look like a blood orc?
I hope not, brother. Hope not.
as he turns and leaves in, and you just see the other like 4 burly guys all just kind of look at you and just disinterested look away. But you guys are left standing there for a couple minutes if you want to do anything or ask anything or anything while he goes and gets permission.
Yeah, I'll just relay that to them since he was speaking Orcish. But yeah, he's going to get somebody in charge. Make sure it's
Khan
okay.
is going to pull out his 2 hand axes and his great axe and just start juggling them.
Okay. Well, you're making a jackass of yourself.
He's bored. He wants to keep up his dexterity.
Are there alleyways near running down the side of the theatre, and are they particularly well guarded?
Yes, they are guarded in the sense that they're within line of sight of the guards to the either left or right. It looks like up here, as you've kind of gone past the higher echelon area, it looks like these alleyways are generally kept clean. You've only ever seen like maybe 1 or 2 people back there, and they look like they're in staff outfits. Unlike the bottom alleyways, which seem to just have people kind of crowding and almost using them as shelter. These ones look to be void of presence.
So going sort of down the alleyway, either like just running a hand along the wall or tapping along the wall or sort of scuffing pebbles along the ground. I'd like to also flick a set of glasses down in front of my eyes. They're just look like sort of combat glasses, but from my point of view, immediately it's like a heads-up display sort of visor type situation. They're goggles of my Nook seeing, and begin to sort of scout out possible entryways that the aberrations could have come in, points of entry. As I run my hand along the wall, just sort of weak areas of wall, cracks running down them, that sort of thing.
Okay, well, as you're going towards the alleyway itself first, one of the guards is going to kind of reach out or put up a hand unless you're trying to like stealth, but that will require distraction or invisibility.
No, they would immediately sort of.
Oh, hey, buddy there. Hey, look, I don't want to get involved, but we are given instructions that no one goes back there, right? Too much of a safety risk. So if you want to go back there, you're going to have to go through the inner doors inside if you get permission to go in there.
Perhaps if you were to escort me, my fine fellow, I would feel less like I was in danger.
Hey, look, my contract said nothing about escorting people back there, right? I don't get paid for that.
Then thank you very much. I'll certainly.
Come on. Out.
Very well.
Look,
no, by all means, if the Madonna comes under attack, then I will let them know. What was your name again?
I'm a veteran, mate. You think that's going to work on me? I once split an elf's head in half.
Interesting. Were they a child?
Well, no, it was quite fascinating. It was one of the few elves who ever actually came into the blood pits. Oh, this is what happens when high guards and wannabes think they've got what it takes to run in Bloodraven.
Fascinating. Tell me more.
No, get out.
Do that. Oh. Very well.
All right, stay where I can see you, or bugger off down the street.
Since it's midday and they're preparing us, are there any trolleys coming through to re-up the kitchens or the bars, anything like that?
Not from this side of the street that you can see.
Okay, fair enough.
Anything else, you'd have to be able to actually go down the alleyways to see what's happening on the back end.
No, it's fine. I can wait.
Okay, is there anyone else?
Just hope Fog has made a good impression.
Where were you on the nights in question when the aberrations occurred? Why have they hired us?
Who's speaking to?
Oh, the guy who stopped me from going down the alleyway.
I'm sorry, what? I wasn't. I just got hired today.
Ah, okay. Lots of new hires. I imagine the staff turnover is quite high in the theatre. Sad, really, how we've fallen on some hard times.
No, they all got killed by the aberrations. Wait, weren't you briefed on this?
That too.
Look, I was just told to keep people out. I don't care. Right? Just don't do anything that I'm paid to stop you doing, and leave me alone.
Fine. Fine. Fine.
But yes,
And
was
then
anyone else?
under my breath in Goblin, I mutter a swear word about him.
Fair. Did anyone else
See if
want
he
to do anything
understands
before
Goblin.
the half orc returned?
Don't think so.
Okay.
No.
Plenty of orcs
No.
from Bloodraven.
Restricted.
All right. A couple minutes go by, and the orc returns with this quite thin, but I would say fairly on the tall side, half elf with the short black hair and square spectacles over her face with a little clipboard. Yes, more adventurers, I take it. I was told safety first was here.
Yep, that us.
Right,
This,
well,
this
It's
works
like-
out well. This
No.
works out well. We could totally open an insurance company with that same name.
yes, well, good for you. Like we're gonna have to make this quick. I can fit you in if you must within like a 10-minute window. I'll give you the quick tour, give you all the information I've already given you. For security reasons, you won't be allowed into anywhere where there's valuables. And you will have to be watched when you're doing anything. We've had to up security procedures. I hope you understand. You may be adventurers, but well, you're adventurers. You're not exactly against other activities. So yes, follow me safety first, then I'll give you the standard tour. My name is Ashlyn. I'm the stage director for the Madonna. I've got a very tight schedule, and I will restrict all questions to one sentence, please. Anything more, and you're biting into my time. We've got to get a stage stall ready, and as you can imagine, our suppliers are being a little bit funny given with all the murder going on, and also we've struggled to get patronage for tonight. Apparently the nobles are finally coming to their senses and don't want to attend a show no matter how much we discount the prices. At this point, we might as well let the common rabble rousers in. Am I right? All right, follow me through here. Yes, just under this step. Oh, do keep your hands off any of the equipment or anything, and for the love of God, wear gloves if you're going to touch anything. But yes, through here. Now, this is our concession stand, as you can see. This is where you can buy tickets, ask about the shows. We have a little gift shop through there if you absolutely must, but quite frankly, I imagine it'll be out of a lot of your price ranges. So yes, through here, we're going with there. Like I said, ask any questions to later. This is the amphitheater. She leads you into a massive room with almost like a cinema with just seat stacking running down and back up the room, and you can see these massive little overhang chambers to watch down on this beautiful stage with this gold lined curtaining. Oh yeah, so this is the main stage. Yes, we've had a couple of the aberrations jump through the upper rooms here down into the crowd. Yes, I think that happened on Meekendai. Yes, on our first show. A lot of people died there. That was awful. Quite frankly, I see it in my nightmares. But moving on. The stage back here is where the Madonna performs. The left and right wing goes off backstage, where we keep the set pieces for the various opera pieces. There's a couple stages, stage doors that run underground. They hook back up with the backstage so that we can, do fancy stagecraft there. Um, Yes, you'll want to speak to Schrotrol, I'm assuming. He's the charge. He's the director for backstage. He handles all the grunt work, makes sure pieces are where they need to be. Our stage hands have all been vetted, so I don't think there'll be any problems there. We're thinking a noble might have done it, but we've cross-checked the references. And while there are a few nobles who come to most of the shows, statistically, unfortunately, they're all dead. Apparently, coming to a third show that had been attacked was playing with the divine too much. So I don't think it was any of them after the fourth attack. There was no new individuals unless they came under a presumed name. But nobles, surprisingly enough, they really like to show off their name. And well, yes, we've cross-checked all the equipment. There was nothing hiding in any of it. And any questions?
This is a DN question.
Yes.
Does she seem like she's just a bit stressed, or does she seem like a sociopath?
Give
Because,
me an insight check.
or are they the same thing? Insight check. I'm not great at insight, I'll be honest. Cool.
Would anyone else like to ask anything while James is doing that?
Yeah, because she just seems like, oh yeah, unfortunately they're all dead. But anyway, over here, and I'm like, yeah.
You do not seem to care for the life that has been lost here.
No. I'll guidance
No.
myself also.
Not a question, but just whenever she turned her back about the saying that we would be too poor for anything. Whenever she turned her back, I just run my hands on everything. So, touch all the things.
Are the backgrounds to your stage new?
As with your insight check, you and to be fair, you didn't need that high an insight check. For the first layer of information you get is that there is a hollowness or a sunkenness to her eyes that suggests that she hasn't slept in like 5 days.
Theater makers, I get it.
As well as with every step she takes with a higher check, there is a tension to every step she takes. All of her muscles appear to be on edge. You don't think this person's come off like adrenaline high or like anxiety high in those 5 days as well. There's a slight worry that she might genuinely just die of like a heart attack if she keeps this up. But there is almost like a manic frankness to her that suggests that she is kind of on that teetering edge of reality and also such good internal deception that she is ignoring everything that's happening and is just powering through it. She is not giving herself a second to think.
She's lying to herself about how much she enjoys this and whether it's actually a cult, or whether she really enjoys working here. If I may, what is your relationship with the Madonna? Do you enjoy
Please, one question at a time. I believe your colleague asked something first.
Oh, apologies.
Well, yes, actually, I suppose we do have a set of stage backgrounds that are new. It's for the Madonna's new piece that she's been performing.
Have you used them for each night of the Troubles?
Well, I suppose.
You reckon
swap them out?
The new stage backgrounds with them?
No, it's only the last 2 nights. It cannot have been all of them. No. I mean, we've had them here for a week or two. The play's been in the works, but we actually only debuted the new play 2 nights ago. We had to after the third night of attacks in order to draw people back in. Apparently 3 nights of continual attacks and reassuring them that the problem had been dealt with has started to lose its edge after the 4th and 5th attack. We don't have any new pieces.
So sorry, it's a new show.
Yes, we started two. This will be the 3rd night. So 2 nights ago we debuted it. The attack started 5 nights ago.
So there's been an attack every night, and there's just so I'm keeping it straight. There's been an attack every night for 4 nights. Tonight being the 5th, and they had a new show start 5 nights ago, and a newer show start 2 nights ago.
Right? No, this would be the 6th night. So the attack started effectively Monday. We'll go for easy counting. This is now Saturday. Okay. They debuted the show on Thursday, Friday.
Okay.
So they did 3 nights with the older shows. They generally rotate shows. Madonna has a number of opera pieces that she rotates every day. Because she does a bloody show like every fucking day. She's got to keep it fresh somehow.
So it doesn't seem to be the show's fault. The attacks have continued regardless.
Yeah, so it doesn't seem to be exactly for that cause. So she kind of ponders it. No, it can't have been.
Is there any element of the show that remained over the 5 nights?
Well, the Madonna, obviously.
I mean,
I'm going to look at you and just go,
Unless she was replaced.
the thirst-free nights. Please don't joke about that. There's rumors that shifters are in the city. That's a serious
they are.
accusation to make. Anyway, um, no, the first three nights were classic shows. There was nothing unusual about them, nothing unique about them. Um, so no, I can't imagine there was anything about them. And like I said, the new show's been in the work for about 2 weeks now. We've only just kind of rushed it through the last two nights to kind of bring a new element to the theater to kind of draw people back in. Oh,
Have you had
we
any
really need.
new hires or new suppliers of anything?
I mean, we've had a no, actually, well, no, not in the last two weeks. But we had a couple of new people like 2 weeks ago. Your general attrition and turnover, but no, we've had to triple the wages of all the stagehands to keep them on board. We lost a few during the last couple of attacks, but we haven't hired anyone new to replace them. We've just upped the pay and given them other promises of additional like chances to be in shows and such. That's generally kept them here. Generally, people who work here are in it for the passion, and aren't afraid of hard work.
What's your relationship with the Madonna? Do you enjoy working with her? What is she like to work with? And has she been more zealous in the past week or so about getting these new performances out, or does she just want to perform? Is it particularly these performances she's adamant about, or does she just, you know?
Oh well, you can actually learn all about that, and if you go to the gift shop, we actually have an autobiography on the Madonna, and you can learn all
I
those
don't have
details.
time for that. I don't have time for
Well,
that.
your
I would like
question was
you to
very
tell me.
open-ended and vague, so if you have a direct question, she's magnificent. She's wonderful. She is the shining star of Akaba. I don't know what else you want me to say here. Working with her
That sounds
is a
like
privilege.
that sounds like a press release. You say it's a privilege. What do you think of her on a personal level? What is your personal opinion of her? Because
I
that's a
think
press
she's an
release. That's what you
icon.
just said. Is she nice to work with? Do you get along with her?
I think that's irrelevant.
I don't think
Did
so.
you release these aberrations?
I did not know. I wouldn't even know where to begin. And also, how dare you?
Insight
I
check.
would never do anything to sabotage the Madonna's performance. Quite frankly, I think she's the only one keeping this city together. What with all the horrible things going on. Nice, nice. You sense she's telling the truth when she's saying she didn't release the aberrations. There's almost a look of bewilderment behind her eyes at even the concept. She seems to consider it for a second as if she even would like, how would I even do that? Could I do that? There isn't the same kind of repulsion to it, but a intellectual curiosity of if she could even do such a thing, rather than anything. Um, but there also seems to be a bit of tension to her voice when she says that Madonna's an icon, and you can feel there's definitely more she's not saying when she says that her being nice is irrelevant. So she doesn't seem to outright hate the Madonna, or at least you're not getting that vibe from her. But there definitely seems to be a bit of a complex relationship there, kind of a love-hate relationship.
Do we get the sense that she wants to be the star for a change, and is fed up of being in the shadows?
No, you don't see like the kind of classic twinkle in her eye. She doesn't like longingly look off or anything when she's mentioning theater or performance. Um, she doesn't seem to have the personality or persona to be a performer, or at least she doesn't like over embellish whenever she's talking or anything. She's actually very direct and punctual, and she does seem to mean it when she says that the Madonna's the only person holding the city together. And
Maybe she wants to be an agent then.
So there's almost like it's almost like when you listen to soldiers talking about doing their thing, doing their part for the war or defending the city. There's that same almost like it's her purpose to do what she is doing. She's doing it out of need and necessity rather than love or passion. She's almost honor bound to it.
Okay, thank you for your time, Ashlyn. Can you take us to, I believe it's Shojol, the backstage director?
Gonna change your name to yeah, like Ashland there.
Would you allow me to cast a spell here? It's a simple sort of thing that'll help me see better. Is that all right? For clues. I'm not.
It should be fine. Just don't break anything. If you do, we
Okay,
will
I cast
send you the
calm
bill.
emotions. I cast calm emotions.
On her?
She seems stressed.
What is calm
She
emotions
need-
do?
Yeah. You suppress strong emotions on a group of humanoids, so the rest of you also make charisma saves.
Chance she succeeds. Just sort of random fucking.
Yeah.
She.
I just want her to not be so stressed. It was a charisma save, but
24.
24. God damn.
She is one hell of a backbone.
Well, she's a theater maker. Of course she does. You need to be
More importantly,
charismatically
she's the stage director for one of the biggest shows on the.
Yeah.
She has to work with strong personalities.
Yeah. But the rest of you fail.
Really,
We're all
even
feeling
Haiku,
oddly calm
what's
about
your
this
DC?
situation. It's high. It's a
Tell me
DC.
anything.
It's a DC 18.
Oh, then Haiku Luku makes it. You rolled an 18.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say 19 is impressive. You got some magic items.
Yeah.
Like
I didn't see the 18. I saw the 3 and the 5 and the 15. Because I
the rest
over
of
to
you
beyond
feel
midway through.
calm if you weren't already calm. Then if you were secretly harboring intense emotion, I guess you're now calm. Yes, let me. I'll drop you off if Shoto. Try not to get in his way. He does a lot of the manual work himself. He's a very hands-on individual. But with that, if you have any other questions, do give me a call. Please do not go anywhere unescorted. We've told all staff to immediately report anyone suspicious or they don't recognize to the new guards that we've hired. Please do not antagonize the guards. I cannot stress that enough. It was really hard. We have to pay quite a premium to get them, and there's such short supply these days. We really had to get the older ones in, coming out of retirement.
Starting now, I certainly won't do that now.
So, yes, and do remember that if you do anything or say anything that tarnishes the Madonna's name, we will exercise to the full extent of the law and our abilities to absolutely destroy and ruin you and have you kicked out of the Adventurers League. Thank you very much, and have a good day. Strato! Come here!
I mutter to the other three. Well, there's a reason they say live theater's dying.
You're babysitting the adventurers now. I got work to do. And she hurries off without even waiting for Strodo to show up, and immediately just does a beeline into a door going out of a corridor. And you can see as she's walking, she's kind of checking lists, and you see her almost absent-mindedly, without paying attention, just ordering people to do things. Can you tuck in those curtains? That chair needs to have a quick polish. Why is there rubbish here? Somebody pick it up. As before she leaves, and you just hear her voice echoing from the corridor as she gets further away. Every second, just another command issuing.
She needs to smoke something, or drink something, or do someone. She seems very stressed. This job, this theater makers. I feel for them. That's why I'm a teacher. Much less stress. Much less stress.
I feel I'll see less stress on the battlefield than she saw here.
Yeah.
Not incorrect. But yes, you have a couple seconds before Strodo actually shows up, where you're just kind of standing by yourselves. What would you like to do?
Is the gift shop here? Can I steal one of those autobiographies from him?
No, that was off the main entrance foyer branch. You're in the actual theater now itself. You're kind of on the steps at the base before you hit that area before the stage.
Just
Kind
take
of
a little
walk
shot
you.
around to see if there's anything dodgy looking.
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
I would like to cast Fly on myself and move up to where she pointed one of the upper boxes that overlooked the stage that the aberrations came from and flooded the area. So I'm going to fly up there.
Perception-wise. That's nice. As you look around, you see the usual just kind of hubbub of these younger-faced individuals. They seem to have a surprising number of like older teenagers here, in that like 16 to 19 range, of with staff uniforms, just running around, doing various bits and bobs, kind of cleaning things up, and you see them come carrying massive piles of flyers through back up into the foyer. Etc. But you don't see anything suspicious. For a second, you think you catch something out of the corner of your eye, a figure standing in the shadows watching you. But as you kind of glance to see, it's just an empty corner of the room. There's nobody there. As you fly up Akron and kind of look over, you can see that from down below, all of the box rooms above you, the boxed outcroppings, they look normal. There's no discernible sign of anything occurring to them or anything. But as you kind of fly up, you can see that one of them has had the curtains drawn. There's a little curtain before the two main seats that in the actual balcony that look into the room, almost like you can cut the room off in half. And you can, with your passive perception, you can see on the carpets and on the chairs, there looks to be kind of claw marks. Or maybe not claw marks. There seems to be markings of some kind that have kind of scorched, or not scorched, like kind of melted parts of the like chair holster away. Or holster? I don't know, how do you
Fly
pronounce
over
it?
and investigate.
And as you kind of
Upholstering.
holstering, there you go. Trying to get the right pronunciation word.
That's okay.
As you fly over, you can see there's definitely damage to the chair now, and you can see that it looks like somebody's almost splashed red paint across it to blend in with the chair to make it not visible from a distance. But as you get close, you can even see on the ground there's slightly patchwork drops of like some thick red liquid on the floors, just kind of spewed across. Now, luckily, the interior is already decorated with this kind of deep crimson red anyway. Luckily for, I guess, the people trying to obscure the crime scene. And as you kind of pull back the curtains and peek beyond, there's a slight smell that it's a combination of copper or iron, but with heavy, almost acidic cleaning chemical product to it.
So someone's bled here, and then someone else has tried to clean it.
Yes, and as you kind of look around, you can see, especially where they've got like the golden, more metallic kind of fixtures and light brackets and all of that, you can see that there is slight crimson stains here and there, where it looks like it's tried to be rubbed away, but you can still see the trail or trace of those kind of splatter marks all over the interior of the box.
Okay, like the person had been sort of ripped in half, really. Oh dear. Is not this so good? You mentioned there was like an acidic trail from that sort of scorched the upholstery. Does that trail lead back anywhere, like of where the creature might have come
this
from?
will
like a crack in
require
a wall?
I'm gonna say
Investigation?
investigation or perception. I'll allow either because it's technically it is investigation, but you're also looking at stuff, so it's weird.
Yes,
but while you're doing that,
investable.
we'll get back to you in a second. The three of you on the ground have a second or two before Strothkro shows up. What would you like to do, if anything?
I am. Yeah, I'm going to Divine Sense. See if there's any celestial fiend or undead within 60 foot.
Ooh, celestial fiend or undead. I don't think there should be in the theater. No, you get no pings off of your sense as you thingy out into the room.
Okay.
Anything else anyone would like?
Akon has gone to one side, I am going to run up the wall to the other side of boxes and just take a look.
Fair. Okay. As you do so, I think they did say they came out of both sides. You do see similarly one of the rooms is kind of curtained off, whereas the other boxes look fine. Which would you like to go to? The curtained off one or one of the free ones?
One of the free ones first, so I can see what the normal room looks like.
Okay. As you kind of sit down, you immediately get a sense of luxurious comfort. You can see that all of the chairs are well padded, highly tailored. There are the gleaming kind of golden fixtures, or at least the fixtures that have been painted with a golden paint, kind of give off this shimmer, and they've all been extensively polished. As you kind of look around, there is an empty ashtray, yes, in the center. It's been emptied and cleaned, and even as you look around the floor, it looks like everything's been heavily vacuumed up with magical wind artificery.
I take the ashtray.
Is it a Dyson sphere?
Into the pocket.
Well, you got people with elemental energy. I'm just imagining there's like a mage cleaning crew that gets brought in to clean things up.
I mean, pretty cool. Just like 4 mages at the end of a room. Gust.
Yep.
All the dust out.
Beautiful, so efficient.
I went to 5 years of Arcane University to be a cleaner at a fucking theater. God damn. Like the guy cleaning up after the Avengers.
Oh, they're just the guys like casting, was it Unseen Servant in the corner? She's like,
I don't know, man. I think it's a good way for students to make a little bit of extra coin while they're studying. Just oh yeah, I'll get to practice my magic and also earn money at the same time.
Bit of pay as you earn.
Mage hand and do some dishes.
Yeah.
Exactly. See. But yes, as you look around the empty, clean chamber, it looks incredibly well kept, well clean, and very luxurious. You've got the 2 main seats kind of looking over the balcony, and then behind that you've got 4 additional seats to allow for room for 6.
Sorry, going back to the arcane cleaners, they have all these skills, and yet they're cleaning bloodstains with regular bleach.
Well, yes. How do you use magic to get blood out of things?
Prestidigitation.
Oh no.
Prestidigitation still smells of bleach. There we go. We've cracked the case. We've cracked the case. Let's go home.
And these students aren't perfectly trained yet, and Archmagi can clean bloodstains no problem. But a student, they leave some stains behind. Their prestidigitation isn't quite that good.
Surely it's failed students, like they did the first year but couldn't afford to carry on.
It's like it's all those level 1 sorcerers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've learned 2 spells and that's all they could get.
There is to learn prestidigitation.
There is an influx of Salarin. Salarin's population is made heavily of sorcerers because they have the Janai bloodline, an elemental bleeding effect in Salarin, as well as a couple other bleeding effects. So yeah, there were actually a lot of like level 1 sorcerer servant.
Makes sense.
Who immigrate to Aqaba and now just looking for work. That makes sense.
I'm thinking just a dry cleaners, like you bring in your suit, done, clean. Like an express 2-second service. Oh, sorry, 6-second service.
Yep, really cheap in Salarin, but with so many dead and their service is so in demand, they can make a pretty penny in Aqaba. But yes, while you two fly up or climb up either side and go explore your various view boxes, what are the two of you on the ground doing in like the couple seconds before someone shows up? Just watching your allies immediately bolt left and right as soon as they're out of sight of the person watching them, like toddlers.
Yeah, Khan's just going to be essentially just looking around.
Yeah.
See if you can see any like cages that someone mentioned earlier.
Yeah. Thurg would just be looking the same, just trying to kind of be like, you know what they're doing?
No.
Me neither.
That's fair. A second later, a large, bulky half-orc steps out from backstage. You can see they've got this kind of... They're just wearing a waistcoat with nothing underneath it, and across the waistcoat, they've got backstage director on it. This bold, kind of pale green figure. You see a little bit of crow's eyes at either side of his face. He seems to be a half-orc in his elder or kind of late middle ages. So I think half-orc's got like an 80 lifespan, so he's about 50-ish. As he kind of strolls out, gives himself a little stretch. He kind of plots this massive black case down to the side, kind of rolls his shoulder and just kind of hops off the stage towards you. All right, you the adventurers then?
Yep.
That'd be us, yeah.
So what's your party called?
Safety first.
Ha! Oh, if only I could teach the younger ones that. I don't suppose you do talks, do you? Do little presentations where you say, right, when adventuring or when doing backstage work, you too should put safety first.
I mean, ironic name, but sure.
That's our tagline now.
Yeah,
Always put
reckless
safety
but true.
first.
I knew it was too good to be true. You adventuring lot. You know, I considered a career adventuring once.
Until arrow in knee.
No, someone broke my spine.
Ah.
That was painful. Now, luckily, I'd made a little bit of coin for myself gambling. What can I say? I lived a little bit back in the day. You know, I'm not hard pressed to admit it. So I managed to afford the regeneration to fix it. Bro, it took me a week to get that appointment, and in that week, I just gotta tell you, not worth it. That's what I learned that day. You know what? Adventuring, not for me. I quite like being pampered, I do. A little bit of a spa day here and there. Yeah. Like watching theater a lot. That's why I got this gig. Gotta use up, also like a bit of fitness myself, though. So I gotta work out while also getting free tickets to the show. And I gotta tell you, every time I see Madonna's play, I get a little teary in my eyes. I can't help it.
Thurg is going to be like visibly wearing a look of disgust at hearing a half-orc similar to himself talking about such kind of soft things. Just like,
hey, this isn't Bloodraven. There's nothing wrong with that here, all right?
Except for things appearing.
No, yeah, that's definitely thrown a spanner in the works, that has. Right to it and shame, too. You know, I thought we'd at least be safe here from the war. But, like, I don't want to sound racist, okay?
but
Look, I was born in Bloodraven.
I mean, that bad phrase. I don't want to be racist, but.
But hear me out, okay? Like, I grew up in Bloodraven. I got the hell out of there when I was 16. I hightailed it to Aqaba, new growing city and all that. I got a job here, and look, this was bound to happen with all the immigrants from Bloodraven. I don't know if any of you have been to Bloodraven or from Bloodraven. You look like you might be. We got a large orc population over there. But I'm just saying, the reputation that it's a cutthroat city and that whatever happens in the fog there's a lot of underground cults there, and the back alley fight clubs, and even public fight clubs and everything. Let's just say morals wasn't the top of the list in Bloodraven. It was a strength of the mightiest kind of culture over there. One that I didn't want to partake in. Hey, I'm not ashamed to admit I got a delicate soul. I'd rather see people fake fight on stage than watch a blood bowl happen, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that, so don't you give me those eyes. But I'm just saying, ever since we had an influx from Bloodraven, we've seen an uptake in crime, And hey, that's what they were taught and raised to do, right? It was you fight for survival and you take what you can take with your own hands or guile or magic, right? So of course you're going to see more of that when they come over here to Akaba. They're not used to the strict law system or actual responsibility, consequences for their actions, So of course you're going to see more cult activity. You're going to see more criminal activity, more muggings, more underground, fight clubs. Anyway, I said my piece, okay?
I'm just going to stealth down from the balcony to appear behind him. So you think it's the Bloodraven people, do you?
Ah!
The cults.
And at that, let's go ahead and give me a dex save, as he just without even, you don't even think he really gave it any thought, but he just, as he swings back to see you, just immediately you see the left hook just shooting out towards you. As you're able to easily kind of dodge it. He definitely has forms off practice, but he's definitely got a bit of boxing experience to him. As he just immediately goes for left hook and you duck under it. Whoa! Oh, don't give me a fright like that. Holy! By the seven divine! Whoa! Nearly took your head off.
Well, like you said, people from Bloodraven can be overly aggressive for no reason.
Yeah, I forget how much I need to watch my back around people like that. You stay in my line of sight. Forward front with you. All right, now, Ashlyn wanted
Always
me
make
to...
sure I'm standing just to the side.
You see him constantly kind of shifting around. Can I keep you in his line of sight? Look, does your friend have to be like this? Set me on edge here. Look, I have the authority to throw you out here, so let's try and be a little civil. We're in Akaba now. Let's adhere by social convention. Stop that. All right. Ashlyn wanted... Stop. Ashlyn wanted me to answer any of your questions and show you around backstage. To the point where they're just kind of dancing in a circle around the party now. Did you have any questions, or was there anything in particular you wanted to see?
Where things come out.
Right, well, there's a couple of spots. I'll take you around the back rooms. We've also got some parlors back here for after-show parties. Not any of those of late. Surprisingly enough, nobody wants to stick around for a party after everyone's been been an attack. So yes, why don't all three of you go forward in my line of sight? Just through here. Well, where's the fourth one?
Out there.
Oh, bloody! Weren't you lot told to stay with someone at all times?
No.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, but then Ashlyn left us by ourselves.
Honestly, you're as bad as the bloody new stagehands. Can't teach a thing to ya. Alright, come on.
When did the stagehands start?
We got a new batch in 2 weeks. They generally take that long to train, but we've had some of them who are a bit more airy-headed and a couple others a bit more rebellious or a bit lazy, if you ask me.
Attacks happened since new stagehand?
I mean, they joined 2 weeks ago. The attacks happened, 5 days ago now? Maybe.
Kill stagehand.
Kill stagehands?
What?
Easy
Look,
fix.
do you guys know that Aqaba forbids killing within the walls, right? What part of civilization are you? Were you all born in Bloodraven?
Bugbear. Kill.
Right.
Saying
No,
nothing.
that's fair. Right. Now about that whole Bloodraven rant, don't hold it against a half orc himself. Look, I'm just saying, I could rather not end up with my head decapitated from my body, okay? I know Bloodraven's got this whole honor system that if you insult someone, they have permission to stab you in the back, but look, I'm just saying.
And Orca should be like, it's fine, brother. I'm in a weirdly good mood. My emotions are very calm. Don't know why.
Wait, I'm confused. Is it Bloodraven or Saladin?
What do you mean?
No, this is me asking you, Chris.
No, yeah. What's the
Because
question?
you were interchanging Bloodraven and Saladin.
Was I?
Yeah. Because your
Bloodraven.
original rant was about the Saladins.
No, the original rant was about Bloodraven.
Yeah, original rap was Bloodraven.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would have previously mentioned Salarin with the talk about sorcerers.
Right.
Yeah.
So Salarin is the southern desert city that James has told you about. It's predominantly got half genasties in it, and with a lot of sorcery power. They other etc. stuff. I won't give you the whole backstory.
Fair. That was just me mishearing or misunderstanding.
Bloodraven is the kind of more Victorian like Victorian London city, where it's ruled by, rumor has it, monstrous houses.
It's monsters. It's Jack the Ripper times 100.
Fair.
Junior's from there.
Oh yes, well yes, because well technically Junior doesn't have to be from there actually, because that's just where some of his siblings moved to. He's not actually from there. He's from
His family has his house there.
Because it's their version of New Orleans where they went out and left Disparity and to get away from their father.
Yeah.
Fair.
For anyone who's interested, a lot of it is based on Originals, the offshoot from Vampire Diaries. So it's based on the idea that there's the ruling vampire werewolf houses. But anyway, we're actually going to take a quick 5-second break there before we move on to the next area, because I need to get some more water for my voice.
But I just grabbed my tea, and
I know.
I'm investigating a trail of death that eventually is going to have me peek out the
You
curtain
are.
and go,
What was
"Guys,
your
there's death
investigation roll?
28.
Yeah, all right. You see everything in pristine detail. Definitely something accreting acid has done this damage. Something with multiple kind of appendices on a large body base, similar to kind of calling back to the description you got of this kind of strange gibbering mouther or like roper-esque body type that's kind of fleshy but with tentacles.
Oh, xenomorph.
Xenomorph are very like more exoskeleton. This one's very fleshy, blobby. So it wouldn't be xenomorph.
Xenomorph with no armor.
Do you just think they look like just fat inside those things?
Yeah,
I mean, if you picture them pink and wobbly, yes.
Without the metal body armor.
You guys know what a gibbering mouther looks like, right?
Nope.
Yeah.
It's an ooze with a bunch of mouths and eyes.
Alright, for those who don't know what a gibbering mouther is, I've thrown it in the group chat. Once it's actually
I mean,
loaded.
you can guess.
So that's what gibbering mouther is. They're generally...
What do you guess a gibbering mouther looks like? With the name gibbering mouther. Just out of interest, without looking.
Yeah, see, I would not have guessed that. Well, when you say gibbering, I imagine it looks more soft and pink. That looks like more like a slug has been crossed with like shark teeth.
Yeah.
That's fair. But yes, we'll take 5 seconds there, and then I'll explain. So yeah, it looks like that, but it looks like almost like a snail trail in a way, in that these things seem to be accreting acid, but also they seem to have tentacles or something, as the kind of shape as they've kind of like almost whacked into the chair and then kind of almost burnt through with acid suggests that they have tentacle appendices. Appendices? I think it's appendices.
Appendages.
Or the limbs. Yeah, there we
Yeah.
go.
Was it
My
tentacles?
mouth
It's
is already
fun.
drying up.
Tentacles.
Yeah,
With
tentacles. They
my-
have tentacles. They've acid tentacles.
I have an arcane and herbalist's kit. Can I identify what creature it came from, or would that take a while?
Well, you can spend time there. I'll come back to you while these guys are being moved on. Oh, after a couple seconds, because technically that all took place in a couple seconds, you get a call down that they're moving on to the next area and to get your ass down. You can take a sample and kind of play with it on your travels if you'd like.
Okay.
And then you can fly down, and I'll give you the results after a couple minutes of testing various things. But yes, with that, I'm going to get some more water. We're on 5-second break.
Cool.
It
We'll be
appears
right
that this creature is a perfect organism. Its blood seems to be of a highly caustic nature, and it not only has claws but tentacles, which means it would be able to squeeze through any sort of gap and could have originated within someone else's body. Although I shudder to think how they removed themselves from that body. Although there was a person. Well, I say a person. There was blood spatter suggesting that a person was ripped in half. So perhaps they burst out of a chest, like some sort of chest exploder. Torso exploder. Name needs a bit of work. I will call these things foreign body changers. That work. You know, Mark, that's a little on the nose. Foreign change shifter, maybe. No, shifter's already taken. I'll come up with, don't worry. We'll get to the bottom of this. I'll come up with a name. Oh, and we'll also find out who's been releasing these creatures, I guess, if we have time. This is fascinating.
Yeah. As a second thing. See,
Yeah,
I was
the
thinking
difference
the
was
alien
terrible.
from species.
If we can utilize the blood of these creatures, if we can utilize the creatures themselves, we could use them in the war and bring the war to a close. We could even morph our own people into them, or
Oh,
Or-
wait.
or infect,
There's profit.
or we could take charge of enemy troops, infect them with some sort of small body within them that would then burst out of their torsos and infect enemy troops. Of course, then if all the enemy troops were to die, there would of course be these creatures on the loose. So we'd need to genetically engineer them in such a way.
Or we find some sort of hunter that would get them as well. Some sort of
Like-
predator.
Yes.
What kind of ultimate game?
Demon. Yes.
So if I was able to procure some volunteers, do you think you'll be able to alter whatever this is, if it is coming from people?
Well, the sample should provide further details of where exactly it came from. If there's Noid fragments within there, we should know if it originated from Noids who were mutated, or if it came from another plane of existence.
Oh, if it came from a divine plane of existence, that could be a very profitable weapon, because you can't send back bodies to the divine if they've been corrupted. That is an idea worth money.
Money, yes, but the research itself could help to stop monsters from being reborn, regenerating.
Well, I promise you this. Your name would be on all of the experiments, I would only be a silent backer.
Oh no, no, too much interest in I wouldn't like to be the center of attention. I'm gonna cast.
Well,
I'm gonna
only
say, "Don't worry, we'll find a patsy." And I look round at the other two.
Yeah, but
I nod.
Don't worry, we will get you all the goat sandwiches you want. Just sign this contract. Oh, read it. Oh, no, it's fine that it's in Goblin. That's okay.
I was raised to never trust a goblin.
All right, I am back.
Oh shit, it's already.
Camel on automatic. Does it just follow you around?
No, it's must be attached to somewhere.
No, it's zoomed in, so it just pans what you can see. So like there's a limit to it, like over here. So it doesn't go past here, or past here. Like that's the actual extent of what the webcam can see.
That's still
it just
pretty.
zooms in.
That's cool.
It does it automatically.
Yeah, it's.
Meanwhile, I record from my phone.
Yeah, it's part.
Right.
If you've got a 30 series graphics card, then it's one of their beta test things.
90D8? What?
Don't worry about it.
What?
Don't worry about it.
I can survive that.
So yeah, like if I switch it off, this is like the full extent of the webcam. And then zoom in, and I can make it more zoomed in.
One attack, I would technically survive. Oh no, wait. I need to look up Death Ward. Kills you outright.
I mean, I'm not surviving even a quarter of that, so.
Yeah, I would survive that with 1 hit point.
But yes, as you guys,
Death Ward counters Power Word Kill. Holy shit. Anyway, sorry, on you go, Chris.
as you all, as Akron arrives back down, the party continues through to the back stages with Shotro, kind of leading the way. All right. So, yeah, this is obviously backstage. I don't know. We've got massive set pieces back here. We've got doorways leading off and right, and kind of loop around onto the stage as we just went through there. Those passageways actually lead down to a little elevator that goes down into the underground passages. We can have a look at it if you want. The side door to left and right runs to the parlors to the left. That one to a kind of prep stage and dressing rooms, and then you've got the large door at the just over there to the corner there. Those open up into effectively the back prep stay area where we get the carts in to offload equipment. That runs onto a kind of medium-sized roadway that snakes in between the housing towards the market square. We've got a little outpost out there and some gates and stuff, but that's all heavily kind of privatized. There's walls running around the roadway there. I suppose occasionally we get people jumping the walls and trying to get in through the backstage, but we've got 2 guards out there now to stop them coming in. So yeah, that's the backstage area. And as you're kind of watching this, you can see stagehands kind of running around, kind of shifting and moving things. A couple technical people working with arcane lights and other artificery equipment. You can see a couple with artificers' belts on their hips and stuff, with similar just equipment that you recognize as tools of the trade. There's also a couple carpenters kind of looking over the more wooden pieces off the stage, as well as a couple painters kind of finishing things off and like upticking or like just kind of touching up the pieces a little bit here and there, where maybe they've been staged or they've been kind of scorched or marked from just use. So yeah, what do you want to have a look at in particular? I don't really know how this goes. I've never been an investigator. I'm just told to move things about and make sure everything runs smoothly.
Would you?
Why don't you show us where you release the monsters?
The artificial ones or the ones that have been attacking the last couple of nights? Because there are a couple stage performances where we've got these almost like puppets. They're made of this rubbery syntax material. We have some stage hands underneath of these large sticks, like kind of puppeteer them.
Okay.
Is this fucking?
If you're ever going to sell them, I have a couple of clients that would be interested about that.
Right.
But we're talking about where you release the aberrations.
No, I'm sorry. I still don't understand. What do you mean?
Where do
Did
monsters
you?
come from?
Where did what?
Where do monsters come from?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Do you mean the ones that have been attacking lately or the fake ones?
Attacking ones.
The real ones.
Right. Okay. I'm sorry. You were all very vague about what you were actually asking me there. Right. Real ones. Let me jog my memory there. Well, there's one that's on the second night came from underground. Yeah, that one worked its way up the stage. Nearly got the Madonna. Oh, God, for 7 blessed they didn't get her. But no idea how that thing got down there. You know, the only way is through these passages and the elevators down. No, we discovered one out in the docking bay. It was feasting on the kind of thrown out trash there. Luckily, that one didn't get anyone. We got some guards there kind of get it while it was feasting, apparently distracting them with food works. Then I think they found one in the parlor on the 4th night. There was a couple up front, but I wasn't. You'd have to ask Avalyn where exactly they came. I think they came from like up on the kind of overhang boxes, but no. First night there was one in the parlor though. Actually, I think there was 2 in the parlor. That was when we lost the most people. Yeah, Madonna was having an after-stage party with some of the nobles like she normally does. They pay big money for that. It's a big money ticket. I can't say I've ever gone. Some of the stagehands, if they're lucky, they get to like cater the event. Oh yeah, getting me a fly on the wall there. That's really fun. But no, Madonna was late to that one. Apparently there was a problem. I don't know. Somebody called for her to be kind of to apparently Ashlyn needed her for something. There's a whole big flooey that apparently Ashlyn hadn't called for her, and that's why she was late. But God forbid she was late, because we lost several nobles to that thing. They just walked in, and suddenly there's these massive creatures that just descended upon them. And yeah, I gotta say, reminds you of the blood pit a lot. Oh, there was blood and gore everywhere. Oh, everything had been trashed. We lost a lot of good vintage bottles in that room. You know.
So monsters go for Madonna.
What do you mean?
Like,
She was supposed to be there. Have they attempted to attack the Madonna every night?
I mean, they don't directly go for if that's what they ask. Quite frankly, I think they're mindless creatures. They seem to just almost attack anyone in sight, and they are geared towards large gatherings of body. I don't know.
But do appear where Madonna should be.
I was just thinking.
Oh, the first night, I suppose so, but I mean, they're always attacking during her performance, but I don't know if that's because she's here or because there's a lot of people here, you know? I don't know if they're looking... I feel like if they're wanting to kill her, there's probably better ways to do that, but...
Unless summoning them. I need to do research.
What? You think the Madonna might be summoning them?
Not on purpose.
That's insulting!
No, there have been theories in the past that the power of the voice can be used to, bards, of course, use their voice, use their innate magical ability as a bard
Right, yes.
to fire, scare, to
Well, that
charm.
part makes sense.
So perhaps she's inadvertently doing it.
Why lately?
Stress? A sign of heightened stress, maybe? Or perhaps it's being amplified by something else.
Stage
I don't know if you're following this, because I'm lost.
New change. What change? What change?
Well, I know we've got that new performance piece she's doing, but we've only been doing that the last 2 days, and that's been in the work for 2 weeks now already.
Perhaps she's being charmed.
Oh no, she's got one of those fancy anti-magic ring. Yeah, ever since the debacle at the tri-annual tournament, you know, where that now I like to not say her name in case you incur her. I've heard a lot of awful rumors. Apparently she can hear if you say her name 3 times in the mirror, she'll appear. You know, that person.
Oh,
apparently.
Crowstar.
What? Don't say her name.
I said Crowstar.
Right, yes. That person. Yeah, ever since she charmed the champions, and oh god, that was quite the brutal display. She just completely incapacitated with these bright lights, and they were like premium veteran champions. Like they were expected to win the whole tournament, and then they just got curb stomped.
Single man.
No, ever since then, you know, Silver Tongue's been really out in production with investment from you know, everyone's got to have a Silver Tongue ring. Gives you protection against the devilish tongue. Stops you being charmed.
Anti-charm rings.
No need.
Oh yeah, so Madonna has the penny to get one of those. She keeps one on her at all times.
So she's not being charmed.
Oh, and it's good thing she does too. I mean, whenever we're doing shows, we also have to make sure and be mindful of what her performance can do for people who can't afford the rings. Apparently, there's quite a lot of new studies coming out of this new hybrid school thing they've got going on with the Salarin and Unseen and the Arcane Academy. Yeah, apparently long per soldier to intense charm effects causes all kinds of strange effects in the mind. That's how they get you.
Where's stage?
Yeah.
What?
Where's stage?
Where's stage?
Yeah.
Just come past it.
Oh.
That's where we came from.
Yeah, we're in the backstage now, behind the curtains. Just go through those curtains.
Okay. He's just going to stand where he is and use his magic awareness. So, as an action, you can open your awareness to the presence of concentrated magic until the end of my next turn. You know the location of any spell or magic item within 60 foot of you that isn't behind total cover. When you sense a spell, you learn which school of magic it belongs to.
Cool.
Ooh.
Is that a new paladin subclass?
Oh no, that's not paladin. That's barbarian.
Oh, you're a barbarian paladin.
Yeah.
Oh, you. Wow.
Wild Surge. Yeah.
Okay, so you get, well, apart from the pings you get off of our artificer equipment, when I'm just going to skip over because it's artificer equipment for like stage lights and such. One ping that does bring to your notice is one of the stage hands at the back right of the kind of backstage area is giving off transmutation energy around their whole person.
Yeah, in that case, Khan is going to run over to them and grapple them.
What? Where,
I love it. Go for it. That's
put that
hilarious.
head down.
All right, go ahead and give me a athletics check. Let's see.
It's not good. I rolled low.
You could rage.
Could do.
We'll give them the D4. To be fair, that's a 7. They are not that athletically or acrobatically inclined.
Faster.
More importantly, they're just entirely unaware that this is about to happen. As you see this air genasi currently just appears to be checking equipment at the back, as she kind of glances to the left of hearing large thundering steps and just a shocked expression as suddenly you fucking bang into her and just grapple her to the ground, and you hear this yelp of surprise. As you just have her fully grappled, she's kind of squirming in your hands now. What's happening? What are you doing? Help! Someone!
True form
the
now.
Teenager down.
True
What?
form now.
Give me an intimidation or persuasion check, your choice. But I imagine this is going to be intimidation, right?
I apologize for our.
I mean, I'm going to do persuasion because I get that advantage.
No, fair.
I apologize for our
Not great either way.
knucklehead.
I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean? Help someone! The stranger has just grappled
He's
me.
going to look at Akron and go, transmutation.
Hey, what are you doing with my stagehands? Don't harass the staff. Let her down.
Transmutation, not true form.
What?
What?
Still let her go anyway.
No, don't.
What?
No.
What? At least don't hurt her. It's so hard
He's
getting
just-
good staff these days.
He's just like holding a social can't move.
I'm going to cast See Invisibility on myself. So I can also see into the ethereal plane, by the way, at this point. Just in case she turns invisible.
Nope, that's fair.
And I'm going to fly over. And apologies for this. Please forgive me. Just remain calm. Do you have anything on you that you know of that is any sort of magical item?
What? No, I'm just a refugee from Salarin. I mean, there was no point taking our books with us anymore because they didn't work outside of the region. So, no, I shouldn't have.
Would you mind terribly turning out your pockets? Apologies, just to make sure.
I mean, don't I have rights in Akaba?
No.
I'm gonna unsheath the sword
sure I
from the
do.
back. Not move forward, but just unsheath a sword.
Let's not.
Well, everyone, put that. Let's
Everyone-
not touch anything here.
Yeah. Just let the teenager go. Sheath the sword.
You know, I'm 21, right? I'm not a teenager anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm significantly older than that, and I view everyone younger than me as being born in the last 15 or 20 years. I'm sorry. I'm terrible with age. I'd like to.
Classic professor.
How dare you?
Classic teacher.
Khan's going to look at you, Akron,
The
and
side of my face that isn't facing this student winks. Whether you pick up on that or not.
I mean,
So-
passive perception's 14, probably would do.
Mhm.
You see?
What's happening here? Are you gonna let me go? No, I've not done anything
Hey,
wrong. You can't just. Can we at least get guards in here or something to deal with this? I don't think you have the authority for this.
We have authority. We are authority.
You keep saying that, but I don't think you do.
Do you know what sort of object it was?
No, it just gives me the skull. Yeah. You detect magic?
I would. I'm still flying, and I don't want to get rid of it though.
This is getting very distressing. Please let me go.
Thor's just gonna come over and just like,
I
if Karn's still holding her, just start going through the pockets.
I don't
Just
think.
like,
No, that's no reason for that. I don't think this person has anything to hide.
Not true form.
Karn seems to think
This
so.
is the only form I've ever known.
Inside check that.
What was that? Oh yeah, come make me an insight check. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, son of a bitch.
12.
Well, she appears to be telling the truth.
I mean, you do have your destiny point if you want to use it on that.
Means everyone starts the session with a destiny point if they do not already have one.
So,
Okay, I can't sleep.
Ian, if you're not
Yes.
aware, destiny point
Inspiration.
is improved inspiration, essentially. So you can do like a luck check. You can force someone else to make a roll.
Basically, I just gave them the resource to do shenanigans.
Yeah.
If they want to like try and like convenience something into existence, they have to use the resources to do it.
Mhm.
Chris, does she have less than 23 hit points? Or 23 or less? Because I cast sleep.
Ooh, I actually don't know. 1 second.
If it's a commoner, it should knock them out. If it's anything more powerful, then
We might have something.
yeah, it's a first level spell. So
That's like the weirdest, smartest like math check ever.
yeah,
Good, yeah.
I know. I
I mean, James totally didn't use that spell in the last session as well.
it's such an underrated spell.
Actually, I think that's
Oh.
like 3 sessions recently. Someone's used the sleep spell.
Sleep and a lot
Okay, they do
of
have more than
a
that.
lot of green flame bades have been coming up recently in the one. Oh,
Yeah.
Yes, they do not fall asleep.
Not
I
true
see.
form.
At this point, then I
What
planned.
was that? What did you just cast on me?
It was the spell sleep.
Okay, what does that mean?
It means I'm
Not
afraid
true
we're
form.
going to ask you a few questions. Would you come with us to? Do you have an office? I addressed the deputy stage manager. Apologies.
All right. How sure of this are you? Like Nightfall here has been a fantastic stagehand.
New stagehand?
Did he have less than 23 hit points? Because it's an area of effect, technically.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not. He's getting sleepy.
Yeah, so I think 23 is roughly what bandits have.
Yeah, like he'd have a little bit, but he's
Cool.
like retired enough because he's not like a veteran or anything. He hasn't actually done any combat. He got away as like a teenager. He just has a little bit more because he's like an enhanced commoner, but he's still a commoner for the sake of this. So, yes, he begins falling asleep if you just cast it on the area because I'm assuming he's got much less hit points than the rest of the party.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, commoners have 4.
Yeah, so for the sake of this working, yes, he has less than 23 because he'd probably only have like 12 or something.
Yeah.
Karn has ridiculous HP at the minute.
Yeah, so guards and nobles would have fallen asleep at that point. So I think if she's more powerful than a guard, then I sort of grasp his shoulder and say, that spell affected you, a veteran
I'm not a veteran. I did a little fighting at 16 and then got out of the city.
Well, it's whatever. Someone from Forge.
It's been a long night. I'm just gonna
Slap
rest
him.
my. What? What's happening?
Do you have an office?
I have a backstage office next to the changing rooms down that corridor. It's the one that says backstage director.
If you take us there, or
Um,
we'd like to go by ourselves.
oh yes, I can show you.
Wake up!
What? Oh yes, this way. As very like very distractedly, very like he's just woken up and still in a disoriented state. He kind of starts wobbling towards the corridor and just leads you, seemingly forgotten about what's actually happening right now.
I'm going to cast message and send off to Ashlyn.
Yep, that's the stage director for the front end.
Yeah, we have a person of interest you may wish to question, and then stage manager's office.
Fair. Cool. Yeah, you head down there. Is there anything anybody would like to do before you arrive? We actually do the next scene.
I mean, Garn's just walking with her in his arms like this.
I don't know. I'm innocent. What is going on here?
Once you turn out your pockets and we've clarified that you're not, in fact...
This is harassment.
You might be under some sort of spell. It's going to be okay. We're going to get to the bottom of this. If it turns out that you're not being charmed or mind controlled, we will, of course, reimburse you.
I demand to have a city guard present.
If you can find one, sure.
Safety first.
But they're in very short supply. You can trust us. We're adventurers.
I don't think you should trust anyone who says that. Oh God, I'm gonna get murdered.
Guards, though, they've got membership numbers on them. Do guards have these? No.
Yeah, but to be fair, adventurers are notoriously bankrupt morality-wise.
How dare you?
Especially whenever I let you guys play them.
How dare you? Damn it, I'm a professor.
No, technically you're a teacher. I don't think we ever got if you had a professor status yet.
Damn it, I'm a teacher, Jim.
Yeah. But anyway, eventually you guys arrive at the little door as you kind of open it in. It's actually quite a small, quaint little room back here. It's opposite just this massive double door with like dressed up like gold plating in it with just Madonna all across it. That just with little broke down the middle so you can push in. Clearly her changing rooms are massive compared to his office.
Oh, his office is right by the Madonna's changing room.
Yes, you also see another room a little bit down saying front end stage director. So it looks like Ashlyn also has an office here.
Oh, okay.
It looks like one side is literally Madonna changing room with like another smaller changing room to the side, and then administration offices.
Can we hear her warming up in there?
Give me a perception check.
Oh, damn.
You don't hear anything coming out of the door. There's nobody singing or doing anything in there.
Okay. Yeah, it was more just so we knew, if this person does get free, they're gonna I'm too focused.
You hear no sound from that room. To the point where you go to the door, but there's no sound coming out of it, and you just move on.
Yeah, door's closed.
As you guys gonna go into the backstage office, and you're having to almost cram in with the amount of you, as well as quite a reasonably sized room. It's maybe only 10 by 10 at most. Quite a small office. 10 by 10 is quite a bit for an office, though. He's got a little chair, and he's got like a little couch to the side of his little desk. And there's a little filing cabinet in the side, but that's pretty much it. There's at least 2 to 3 of you are able to get in quite comfortably, and then at that point, it's up to you whether or not you want to all squeeze in, or one of you stay in the office, especially because you all seem to be slightly bulky figures.
I'll stand just outside the door.
Yeah, I was going to say I probably would as well, because of the massive shell. Like I am the door.
All right.
But yes, you're on there, and you have a couple seconds before Ashlyn also shows up. Would you like to do anything before Ashlyn shows up?
I think no. I think it'd be better if there were another witness present
Yes,
rather than just 4 adventurers
interrogating
picking up a stage
staff
hand.
member.
interrogating.
And the sleeping backstage director.
Yeah. Maybe
So Ashlyn shows up. Oh, what is it now? What chaos have you sown, Strodo? What? Strodo, why have they got one of our stage hands in a grapple?
Not true form.
yes. There's
And you have evidence to this?
Transmutation.
yes. Transfiguration magic is present based on a detecting of magical energies.
And of course, what do you have to say about this? Are you secretly magicked in any way? No, it's not as far as I'm aware. I was just doing my job as requested of me, and I don't know what else to say. Really, this is really scary.
Khan's going to try something.
All right.
Of course.
He's going.
Remember this. This is an R-rated table. Let's not do anything extreme.
He's going to cast command on her
Okay.
and say truth. It's quite a low DC. It's a Wisdom 13.
Ooh. Okay, fair enough. Let's check that.
Might be immune to charm though, if it is a monster, an acid monster.
That's
a
she
six.
does,
Man
have,
fails.
she does have advantage. 1 second. Ooh, an 18 with advantage, unfortunately. Forgot it was a charm effect. Wait, is command a charm effect?
No.
It's just isn't this just James thinking that everything is a charm effect?
No, it's not charm.
Because this will matter for her advantage, is specifically charm effects. Doesn't say if they have proficiency against charm or anything. No, I don't think this is a charm effect.
No.
It doesn't say things immune to charm are immune to this. Okay, so she doesn't have advantage because it's only specifically charm effects she has advantage against. So that 6 will be a failure.
Yep. So he said truth.
Now, if you could set her down on a chair, and I pull up a chair for her and for myself, and I do that sort of thing that older folks do when they're repping with the students. They put the chair backwards and they sort of sit on it like that. Now then.
Oh God.
I hate it.
Yeah. So he's loosened his grip and.
Take a seat right there.
So,
yo, kids. What's up, young dudes?
How you doing? Actually, this is quite.
She has to do her first action as the truth. Okay, so that's going to take her full action, isn't it?
With my back, I'm just actually going to sit on it this way. Yeah, she whole thing with her. She just like, yeah. So
generic, but she gets. I'm just trying to think how she'd interpret the context and how far she gives truth. She just does a speak thing, or the conversation was particularly about her form. So I think the truth will be related to her form. Because that's what the topic of the conversation was, so it makes sense. That's where her mind was at when she did truth. So as an action, she is actually going to then drop her alter self and reveal the still same height, same age. It seems she only kind of did up her general features to look like an Air Genasi. As the form drops, you actually see a high elf with makeup on in what looks to be an Arcane Academy uniform. As she has this kind of pale foundation makeup on and a massive black star over her left eye.
one of you people.
Fine.
Not true.
You want the truth? The truth is, the Madonna's responsible for Blackstar's disappearance, and she must pay.
Now. Think about how this
Bonk on the head.
is going to look to the other students.
I don't care. She's responsible, and the only way Blackstar will come back is if she's dealt with and discredited as the disgrace that she is. You don't understand. Blackstar is the greatest shining light in the city. I went to every single concert. I feel so hollow between them. I need to see her again. I need to see another performance. Life isn't worth it without it. She starts breaking down into tears now.
Did you summon these creatures?
As
I cast Stone of Truth.
Oh, you do. But more importantly,
Check.
just need to check
Too
what
late.
this is at. Nope. I'm gonna need everyone to roll initiative as she starts casting a spell
Ah,
with verbal components only.
counter spell.
Which you can do. Oh, I actually have a stat block now.
I can't be surprised by anything. Just so you're aware. Feral instinct.
Oh, not 20 on fucking initiative roll there.
Damn, these king kids being faster than us.
To be fair,
I got a
Haiku,
25, to be fair.
she starts casting a spell with verbal components. I don't know why I'm doing the hand movement. She's currently grappled right there. So first responses is you do get to see the circle of powers before she casts it. She is casting a second level spell as while her words speak magic into the air, you see 2 circles of arcane glyphs begin to form, because we like to do sorcerer magic here. Sorcerer Supreme magic here. Yep, we gotta have the light show going on. You see 2 circles form in front of her face of arcane magic. Would anyone like to cast counterspell?
Now, child, you know I'm going to counter
Does she
you.
have counterspell?
You're going to counter me. Isn't that right?
So are you gonna do it?
No, I'm not
Yeah,
wasting.
That's fair. Then Haiku Luku, you have the first initiative to react as you realize nobody's casting counter spell, and she's about to finish her spell. But you do have the initiative beforehand. What would you like to do?
I am going to punch her.
Fair. All right. Make an attack roll.
Oh, that's not going to hit, is it?
No, there seems to be some form of arcane shielding around her, which is just mage armor.
Then 24,
24 works.
and I throw in a stunning strike.
Yep. Okay, so this was really gonna change it. Oh, it's a good thing the monk went first here. Okay, this is a con.
AC 14, it's not the highest.
Nope, but she also doesn't have a con mod, so let's find out if it makes it 12.
Then she's, oh, what's it? A stunned creature can't move and can only speak falteringly. So, can she do a spell if she could?
She cannot. More importantly, she's incapacitated. Because stun just makes you incapacitated, so she can't take actions.
Was that invisibility that she was casting?
No, it's Misty Step.
Damn it! I can see.
She's gonna get the hell out of dodge. And then she's gonna do something else with her action, hoping that you'd have counterspelled her Misty Step. Just in case. She had backup plans upon backup plans for this one. But she did not account for the monk getting the higher initiative as you punch into her face, and she just suddenly goes a little bit limp as the arcane magic in the air disintegrates.
Not the face, not the face.
As she is stunned for a full round, and let's see, let's throw a little bit of fate die in here.
Then I'm going to punch her again.
Okay. You do so. It hits. You deal 11 more damage. Ooh, what was your first damage? 20.
Only a 6. Yeah. Real low roll.
That was like 17? 17 damage. She is not bloodied. You want to see if she'd be bloody or not. As yeah, she's thingied. Going in initiative order. 15. All right, is that your turn, Haiku Loku?
Magic can't be just
I did not hear that whisper, so unfortunately, yes.
It's the fact that she's an elf and can't be magically put to sleep.
Yeah, that's why
Also
sleep
the
didn't
magic
work on it.
Yep, think of that. It would be her turn next, but she can't do anything until the end of your next turn, which means we then go to Thrug, whose turn I believe. Got to check everyone's initiative here. Yep. Thrug, would you like to do anything while she's stunned?
I'd like to run in and just reapply the grapple that Karn had let go of. So just see if I can just grab her and hold her, stop her from doing anything. Not gonna actually attack her. I'm not sure what we're doing with her yet.
Hold her mouth.
Yeah, just like
yeah, you can pretty much anti spell casting at this level. You guys are all tier 3. Mute them. They've already got their hands kind of at their back. I imagine you guys kind of tied her hands at the back. You can do all these things to kind of just disable her spell casting. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'll do that. I just say, okay, what are we doing with her? That'll be my turn. Or I'd ready an action to attack her if she breaks free.
That's fair, you do so. Okay then. We're gonna do a stealth check for this one. As we move down to Does anyone have a passive perception above 15?
I've only got 15.
I mean, if it equals 15, you'd be able to see them.
Yeah, stay as core.
I have 15.
So they failed to beat the difficulty class. Behind you, you hear the creak of a door open of the Madonna's suite as another staff hand leaves the room. You just really want to see the Madonna, don't you?
I do.
As you catch sight of this small male gnome that has just kind of walked out, as they seem to turn, see the open door of just you guys in the corridor and what's going on, and just kind of freeze a second with this kind of terrified look on their face.
The suspicious one.
Special Adventurers League business.
Safety first.
They just kind of just like point back towards like the backstage as if saying, "So I'm just kind of going now."
Oh, you don't move, son.
Nope.
I don't want involved in whatever's going on here.
Stay where you are.
Who you got in there?
We have a mole.
As he just starts running down the corridor.
Khan is chasing. I'm assuming 40 foot out classes him in speed.
They've got thankfully 25 because they got to decrease it for racials. Yes, they dash 50 feet.
Yeah, dash 80. And grapple.
I only got 25 movement. We're gonna dash.
I can make 55. I can get to him.
But that's his turn to dash and hightail it down the corridor, seeing wherever the hell you guys are up to. That then goes to Akron. It's your turn first.
Yeah, so seeing the second person appear, I immediately take out from my pocket a little, it looks like a little glass ball, and I twist it in my hands and open it and clamp it shut, and an identical sort of sphere clamps shut, and I cast a Resilient Sphere around the person, the high elf.
Yeah.
That should hold her. Let's go after the other one.
Look how this person just appeared and you're assuming they're guilty.
Oh, yeah, they ran away.
Oh, they ran.
Yeah.
Don't run from cops.
Innocent people don't run.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I cast, and I'm concentrating now on Autoclic's Resilient Sphere.
No, I'm pretty sure stunned doesn't outright make them fail.
Unwilling creature must make a Dex save. But on a failed...
If they're incapacitated, they automatically fail Dex saves.
Yes, they do.
Is she not incapacitated to the end of her turn, which is before mine?
Incapacitated until,
next
yeah. So Monkey Boy is done.
Yep. A little shimmering force field encloses her, and she cannot get out of it as I take off down after the gnome. And as I go, I take out my sword and I twirl on the spot, and a strange melodious humming sound occurs as I activate my blade song as my bonus action.
Okay. Right. Is that you?
Why, yes.
Terrifying. But yeah, she is just in that resilient sphere. You have, for all intents and purposes, captured and imprisoned her for now.
Yeah. My increases by 4 while my blade song is active.
All right. Then Karn, it's your turn.
As a wizard, my AC is now 20.
Nice.
So, yeah. Khan, I'm assuming Khan can just catch up with them with his 40 foot then.
Well, they dashed 50,
they dashed,
so you'd get within 10 feet of them.
Yeah, I would need to dash as well.
So if you have like a ranged weapon or a reach weapon, you'd get them. But...
Actually.
Oh, my speed also increases by 10 foot, which is important.
Yeah.
Yeah, I assume you just fly over them and like are blocking the corridor.
My grabbing range, or my arm range is 10 foot.
Yeah, bugbear.
There it is. Okay.
Yes.
So that's right. You want to grapple them?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. You just get up there with your base movement and just with your massive long arms, grapple them.
For a 21.
Terrifying. So we're not pretty sure they have to like a roll in nat 20 to get this, but they have a chance. So
wiki.
19. They were so close, but nope. They are grappled. You just grapple this little gnome that was trying to run away. Got a little orange mohawk.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? Get off me!
And like he's essentially picked him up by the scruff of the neck.
And give me a passive intimidation check. Give me an intimidation check. Let's see how terrifying you are.
Passive intimidation is only 11.
Only 11. Go ahead and give me an intimidation check. Let's see how terrifying you are charging down and grappling this little gnome.
No.
No, he's a resilient little bugger. Get off me! What do you want? This is harassment.
Why did you run?
You work with Elf?
What? I mean,
yes, they're both stagehands.
No, I've never seen it before in my life. I didn't even know we had any elf stagehands. Generally, quite frankly, between you and me, elves are highbrow, high nose, a little bit stuffy. I don't think they'd ever work menial hand jobs. Got to have half elves down here though, if you want to meet that. Let go of me! I'll sue the crap out of you.
No,
I can figure out how.
Yeah, he's just stood there holding the elf by the scruff of its neck.
All right. This countdown. I ran because you look terrifying. Quite frankly, I saw your mug and I was like, oh shit, I'm out.
Hits him against the wall.
Back to the office. Karn.
What?
I deserve that. That's fair. I deserve that. I've been told I'm a little shit. That's fine. Please don't do that again. I'm sorry. What do you want to know? I don't know who the elf is. I didn't know we had any working here. Just do my job. I just ran because, quite frankly, you're all scary. In the nice way. You all look beautiful. Oh, very intimidating figures. Oh yes, very. What adventuring party you guys must be. Monsters must piss themselves. So yeah, I ran. I'm sorry, I ran. Please don't kill me.
Why would we kill you? What?
Oh, he just hit me against the wall.
Yes, because you ran. We don't kill people here in Aqaba.
Safety first.
I don't know. Things have changed lately. It used to be a nice city. It used to be a nice town. Suddenly there's crime everywhere and I'm getting hit against the wall.
Yes, well, blame fucking Romo. I mean, yes, well...
I don't know who that is.
We're going to change those...
You mean the great champion Romulus? Oh, praise be him. He's the only thing that gives me, like... It's Romulus.
Stop, Chris. Stop saying words. You know what they do.
Carl's just going to say Blackstar and just see what their reaction is.
Go ahead and give me an insight.
God.
Whoever wants to insight.
Everything in this theater is a fucking fan club.
I mean,
Why would you do this, Chris?
I've got a great big fat 0 on my modifier.
No reaction. Just. Huh? Who? I mean, like the person on the wanted posters? Oh no, Akron. You can see a twitch at the corner of their eye. A little bit of anger flourishes there. You can see them almost kind of curl their lips a bit too far when they're like calling them a fugitive.
Bring them.
What?
Yep.
What? Because I don't know who the fugitive is?
Yeah, I'm just like.
This is discrimination. This is because I'm a gnome, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, I got that on recording somehow.
Nick, every door jam he goes past, he just whacks him against it.
Ah! God damn it! I'm only 19. Leave me alone. What do you want? Okay, we're here. Right,
Is it,
ow!
is
Hit
it
me
all
against
my-
every door.
is it all my students here? Jesus.
If we're out of initiative now,
Yeah, we're pretty much out of initiative now.
I think we've solved it.
yeah.
but-
I'm gonna do another magical awareness. See if there's
Mhm.
anything coming off the gnome boy.
He's not actually a gnome. He's a goblin named Giblet. Wouldn't that be a turn up? It'd be a best of everyone coming back.
No, he does seem to have something on his person. I just need to double check. Yeah, he seems to have a little disc in his pocket. That seems to be some form of magic item giving off transmutation energy.
Cool. Just like take it out of his
There's
pocket.
a little button on it. What are you doing with that? That's a family relic. That is. Don't touch it.
Trigger.
Yes, Dave.
No, it's just a fancy box. You press the button, it enlarges into a little box. I like to keep things in there. It's just storage.
Monsters. Aberrations.
Storage.
No.
Hits
I don't
against the wall.
Put it in the box.
Stop. This is technically torture. Now we are
Questions.
going to arrest these two for. Now, let me put it this way:
Yes.
if it turns
Okay.
out there are monsters in that box, and we,
There's not.
well, let me just use it as a for instance, as an acting exercise. You like acting, don't you? That's why you work in theater, because you're passionate about
I
it.
love it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So
I
just
want to be a backstage dancer for Blackstar one day.
wonderful.
I mean, I don't know who that is.
I'm sure. Yes. I'm sure you will be. Between you and me, I quite like her as well. Her performances at the school were magical. But anyway,
Oh my god, yes, I can't live without them. Every day, every hour between the performances
Hits against the
stretched
wall.
on to the point where my life became a hollow mess. Oh my god, seeing her is the only time I see light in the world.
acting exercise. Just imagine for a second
Imagination.
that box gets opened, monsters
Right.
come and
Right.
kill more people.
Yeah.
Then those monsters turn out to also be the same ones who killed multiple people over the past week.
Right.
How would that be if you were then found to have that item containing those murderous monsters on your person? What do you think would happen
Okay.
to you? Just as an acting exercise. Just walk me through the through
Okay.
line character at that point.
Well, I don't think that's gonna happen because I know there aren't monsters in there. Nope, because the artifact's not in there anymore anyway. So
So where is it then?
Hits against the wall.
where's what?
I kick open the door. Madonna's changing room.
Oh God.
You just see a large, strange, almost made of like some sort of wooden mask, but with these strange like stripes coming off them, like almost like tassels coming off the mask. Each one kind of taped to a different piece of furniture close by in the room. And the wooden mask itself, as you kind of lean over with your height, has this strange, almost aberrational cartography to it. That's fair.
Like,
As
what
well as it seems to be
the hell
humming
is
in a way.
this?
I don't know. Never seen that before in my life. I definitely didn't put that there. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well,
Please, not again.
true.
Not again.
Should we
Oh
dump
my
him
God.
on the mask?
Oh, it doesn't matter. We're all getting the what? Don't do that. Don't do that. That'd be painful. I don't know. We found it. We found it in the sewer one day, and it just it seems to transmute things badly.
Well, another case solved.
You know it's about to go
Safety
off, right? We're all
first.
gonna be dead.
Well,
I've already initiated the ritual.
oh, in that case, Khan, throw him at it.
Get.
No, don't. Ah! But yes, he smashes against the mirror and like slops down on the desk as the little tasseled wooden mask seems to be humming with energy. As Akron's like, "Oh no, let's get the hell out of here. That shit's gonna. I'm not dealing with that." There you go. Would you like to do anything with the mask before it is activated? You do have a chance to stop whatever the ritual is.
I'm gonna rage and then slam down my axe at it.
All right, one second. I need to bring up.
Because my rage can be funny.
See if you get like the boost to whatever this thing is or something.
Maybe. We'll see what happens.
All right, let's have a look. Go for rage then.
So, on my Wild Surge table, shadowy tendrils lash around me. Each creature of my choice that I can see within 30 feet needs to make a con save or take 1d12 necrotic damage. And I also gain 1d12 temporary hit points. So I'm going to... each creature. Does the mask count as a creature?
I'll allow it for this purposes because it is a targetable object.
So it would need to make a con... What's the DC?
Got to roll d20 here. Doesn't get a modifier.
It's a DC 17 con save.
This is considered a resilient object. Let's see if you can... an 11.
Okay, so it takes d12 for 8 necrotic damage to it. And I gain 1 temporary hit point.
Right.
But
Since you all found that...
But I'm also raging, and I'm going to slam my great axe down at it.
Was it just one necrotic there?
No, 8 necrotic damage to it, and I get 1 d12 temporary hit points back. So that's a 27 to hit, and 15 slashing damage to it as well.
27 definitely hits. 15 damage to it. You managed to get a hit into it and managed to actually split it a little bit, but the device still, or the artifact still seems to be humming. It seems to be powerful enough to resist being outright broken by that attack.
Would I be able to take my second attack on it then?
Yes.
Yeah.
See, I'm feeling that Throg would probably take a
And
couple swings at it as
19
well.
to hit.
A 19 actually fails to hit with the magical protections around the item.
Yeah, because I forgot to reckless before that as well, so didn't get my bonus or advantage.
Is that you?
Actually, I did do reckless because that did that advantage on the first one.
Oh yeah, go ahead and have the reckless on the second one. See if it hits.
Nice.
Unfortunately not. Is that your turn?
Yeah, that's action, bonus action.
I'm going to give everyone else one round, effectively, to try and stop the artifact going off, either by destroying it or doing something else with it, before it suddenly creates massive amounts of aberrational creatures.
Mm-hmm.
So, Haiku, Loku, Throg, what would the two of you like to do, seeing that the axe does seem to have hit into it, and from your experience with these sort of items, you're pretty sure if you destroy it, you'll stop it activating. Now, in your experience, it might also explode whilst destroying it. So you can do with that advice as you'd like. What are the two of you like to do?
Thrug's not smart enough to realise that it might explode and just goes, hit it, break it. So do the same.
Fair enough, go for it.
Yeah, bonus action rage. Take a swing at that.
Fortunately, a 19 doesn't penetrate through the magical defenses of the object.
Were you not recklessing on that then, no?
Oh shit, no, I forgot to reckless.
You can reckless if you want.
Yes, please.
Especially since these are brand new characters.
That's even worse.
No, fortunately, that first hit, even while you're recklessly charging into it, isn't able to penetrate through the arcane defenses.
Oh shit, that should have been 2 extra slashing damage because I didn't put the rage on it.
Apply that to the object, that's fine.
Is it 2? Hang on, let me just
Only one hit.
check.
I'm 3 extra melee damage. I don't know if you'd be the same.
Yeah, because I know you are multi-class and might
Yeah,
the level.
No, I didn't hit a level. It's still +2 for me.
That's fair.
I'll take my second attack as well.
Yep, go for it. You're doing quite a high AC on this thing.
Reckless.
Let's find out if it's able to hit through.
Oh, it was a 26. It's not coming through. I got 15 and a 4 with a +11 for 26.
26 does make the AC. What's the damage?
Sweet.
Well, they're doing that. Haiku Loku, what would you like to do?
That's 15 because it's not got the rage bonus on it, so it's 15 slashing damage.
You have bloodied the object, but it is not destroyed yet.
Cool.
I am going to rage from my side as well, and when I'm 15 foot away from it, I'm going to punch it.
I'm sorry, what? While you are 15 feet away from... Holy shit, okay. Well, that 14's going to miss, but that nat 20 hits in.
Are you astral selfing again? Arms of the astral self or something like that?
I am not. No, this is something different.
All right.
Yeah, this is just a little bit of fun. Oh, and actually, I need to then put on 2d6 of force damage as well.
Let me grab my favorite.
Is that normally just 1d6 or is it normally 2d6?
It's just 1d6.
All right. I was going to say, because that would be doubled as well for crit.
Yeah,
Oh,
unfortunately.
crap. I should have
not that kind of
smited.
monk.
I should have put smite into that.
Worst paladin in the world.
If there's a next time. There's a next time you'll learn. God, where is that?
I took paladin so I could add smite into it.
Was that after the conversation with Dan?
No, actually.
Oh.
Right, well, I'll get that table in a second because I don't need it immediately, but I will need it. With 13 health left on the item before that crit, how would you like to smash this item from 15 foot away?
It's like a hit right between the eyes of the mask, so it splits right down the middle. Just like...
That's fair. What item were the other two? What item is Kern and Thrug using? Are you both using great axes or?
I'm using a type of great axe, yes. and I've just renamed it Great Axe, so no one knows what I'm using.
Mine's a +2 great axe.
Mine's just a +1, but it has other things.
Very nice.
I think you should put it in like quotations. Great axe.
I mean, it's great for the most part, but it does have a downside.
Cursed great axe.
It is a cursed great axe.
So you successfully just axe after axe, and then you manage to just you punch it in the center and just snap through the already like dug in just line down the axe. Suddenly it smashes, releasing wave upon wave of this aberrational purple energy that explodes out into the room. Now, everyone within 10 feet of the item, I am going to need a dexterity save at disadvantage. Everyone who is 15 foot and outside in the corridor, you lucky duck. I need a flat dexterity save.
Okay, so it's
Uh,
flat for us because we got danger sense.
Yeah.
Yes, you can see down.
Oh, you know, I'm going to use my inspiration for that because 12 is terrible.
Yeah,
This is a high
so am I.
Eight.
Oh,
Same.
19. 19's not bad.
That's better. It's 15.
Okay.
Thrugs now.
No.
This is a shit. This is a deadly amount of damage for tier 3 characters. For those who failed the DC 20, which I think is all of you.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know what Akron rolled, so.
Well, Akron was in another room. He just closes the door as you
Yeah.
get into it. It seems like Akron sort of thing. As 102 force damage pulses off this item, blasting the room.
Half the 51 for me.
What kind of damage, sir?
Force damage.
Force. Okay.
Totem of the bear. If it's not psychic,
Nice.
I'm half it.
As you're just able to take that damage.
Yeah, Khan took it, but not looking good.
Oh, I'm down. I don't
You
have
just turn
102 hit points, man. I'm a monk.
It's like, whoosh.
Punch down.
I'm assuming the gnome is just dead.
Oh yeah, he had like 20. To be fair, the night fog was at least in a bubble and was in the other room that Akron just closed the door on.
Mhm.
So I'm assuming all the other NPCs but the gnome just gets blasted out of your hand so hard into the wall.
He'd been thrown into the room before we started
yeah.
attacking the mask.
Threw him at the mask.
Yeah, then quite frankly, there's not enough left of the room to determine if there was anyone in the room.
Oh, wait, no. Evasion.
It's hot.
I'm
Yeah.
alive!
Are you still conscious?
Yes.
Then I need all of you to make me a charisma save from the amount of aberrational energy you just took.
Is this a charm effect or is it just?
No, it is a mutation effect because somebody put mutation in their keywords.
Oh, the person who disappeared.
Oh, actually, I need to make a wisdom save as well.
Oh, 16.
Yeah,
That's fine.
16's gonna make it. It should be. Oh no, actually, because it will be a permanent change, so it's decreased by 5. So it's a 15 DC.
Khan and Thrug.
For those who didn't make the DC 15 thing, there are consequences and mutations going on in your body that will slowly develop if we ever see these characters again. But for now, you have one mutational trait. Congratulations.
Hey!
Third arm.
More great
an
axes.
extra axe.
Yeah.
For those who succeeded, you have no mutational trait. Congratulations, you fought off the weird force aberration radiation. Your body rejected any mutation. But with that, the artifact is destroyed. It was very clearly some form of cursed aberration artifact that seemed to, after time and after a little interrogation of the remaining 2 culprits, you eventually learn that there were only 2 culprits working in on this. There wasn't a third one. It was Nightfog and Albert, who were part of the Blackstar cult and had been attempting to ruin the Madonna's reputation.
I mean, it's only Nightfog that we can question anymore.
Yeah, so questioning her, she tells you
Yeah.
all of this.
R.I.P. Alba.
You learn that they found the item in one of their weird sewer underground den hangouts, and you're also pretty sure that they seem to have the symptoms of almost drug use, but drug use from the charm effects that Blackstar was giving off at her shows. And with a little bit of fill-in, you also get some fill-in from Madonna that when doing high-level charm effects, you have to be really cautious with continual exposure, as just that exposure to such high-level charm effects does cause a drug-like symptom in the person experiencing it.
Mhm.
And it's why the Performers Guild actually has regulations about how many people can like go to very high-level bard performances in consecutive periods. The sort of effects they need to like do afterwards, like calm people down at the end with calm emotion sensors. And they also taught like, see, this is what happens when you let fugitives do unregulated performances. So yeah, feel free to go message James that, since they're not here to witness it themselves, that Blackstar was
mean-
inadvertently drugging people.
I mean, they can see that on the end of the. They'll probably watch the end of this anyway.
That's fair. But with that, you have successfully uncovered the events that are transpiring at the Aberrations of the Opera. The Madonna is massively pleased and gives you all free tickets to her next show.
Even though we destroyed her dressing room.
Yep, there was quite a lot of drama going on there. But you also get the sense that she might want you there in case it wasn't solved, and in case more things do show up, and that you are front and center, to the point where she gives you front row seats.
We're probably the only ones there that have like fully decked out with weapons.
You also discover that somehow she still managed to like half fool the theater, even after 5 nights of people being murdered. She still managed to get an audience.
Impressive.
Yeah.
It is impressive. And you also get the bounty rewarded by Mr. Smile, who, if you go and collect it in person from him, you'll feel what it's like to be in the presence of Mr. Smile, which is, for those who don't know, he's one of the NPCs who wears a purely gold Arcanite mask and is dressed up in white cloth robes from head to toe. So to the point where you don't see any of his skin. And he's an enigmatic figure of undeterminate gender and origins or race. And merely being in his presence gives you a drug-like effect as if you were under the influence of a healing potion. So it gives you a sense of euphoria of just being in his presence, and you find it both incredibly pleasing while in the moment, but anytime you're brought out, you're splashed with cold water of reality and are incredibly uncomfortable of how much power he seemed to have over you, to the point where he jokes almost about, you guys doing it for free, and you, against your will, agree to like, oh, that would be fine, until he like jokes of no and gives you the money.
Before leaving the opera, can I say goodbye to Alias?
If you can find Alias, sure.
No, I just want to have it like, as we're just leaving through the kitchens, because I imagine they don't want us trolling in, just going to walk past like, have a good night, Miss Bristow, and walk out.
Just so we incorporate all the NPCs.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, that is tonight's one shot. Thank you all for playing. Thank you all for watching. We got to go return back to one of the original settings of Alterra. And hopefully we'll see maybe these characters again at some point during the high time of the Ragnar Crusades.
Yep.
And hopefully we'll see lots of other little mini adventures throughout the cosmos. But I've been your DM, Chris. These have been my fantastic players. Feel free to thingy anything, if promotional anything. Go, what's plug? Feel free to plug anything, and if anyone has anything.
Plugs.
Plugs.
Here's a plug.
There you go.
And there's like socket sets and things. Oh wait, I've changed that thing. Hang on, go back to the cameras. There we go.
Did your camera to go black? I've got a plug.
Yeah. Well, it technically did, because I inadvertently clicked the end screen. So.
And with that, that is us for tonight. Thank you all. I hope to see you again sometime.
Join us tomorrow when we're playing in the archive.
Bye.
Oh, yeah.